Hello everyone, this is part 15 of What If Naruto Was Betrayed and Turns Evil, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Battlefield. Naruto flew forward, headed towards Madara and Obito, who were atop of the demonic statue of the outer path's head. Before he could make it to them, Hashirama and his large wooden statue got in front of him. "Seems I have to take you down first," said Naruto to the unresponsive Hokage. Wooden hands shot down to Naruto, but he easily dodged them all with his flight skills. He flew forward with his claw in front of him, headed towards the statue. "Fox slash!" he shouted as he made contact with the wooden structure. Naruto pierced the inside of the statue, but didn't make it to the other side. He was in a small cave of wood, a very bad position for him to be in. The hole he made started to close up, and Naruto flew out before he could get trapped inside. When he made it outside, he was slapped to the ground by the statue's many hands. "Ugh, too many hands," Naruto said as he got up from the ground. More hands shot towards Naruto, ready to pierce right through him. "Tamed wins," he said as he placed his palm forward. Instantly, dozens of arms were sliced off by invisible wind blades in the air. Hashirama jumped off the statue's head, dropping down to Naruto. Naruto summoned his scythe and slashed upwards at the approaching Hokage, but a branch came from the ground and blocked the attack. Hashirama landed in front of Naruto and kicked upwards, attempting to hit Naruto in his stomach. Naruto caught the kick with one of his tails and slammed Hashirama to the ground. Hashirama placed his palm on the ground, and sharp branches erupted from the ground and shot towards Naruto. Naruto let go of Hashirama and slashed left and right, coating his side in his burning yokai. Hashirama threw a punch at Naruto's face, which he moved to the side to avoid. Many branches of wood came from Hashirama's sleeve, close range of Naruto's face. Naruto flew around Hashirama and kicked his back, but a wooden wall came from the ground to protect him. Naruto slashed at his back as more wooden hands rained down on him, coming from the wooden statue Hashirama made. Naruto turned around to the approaching Hashirama and yelled out, "Fuyuten, downhill wind current." Wind blasted down on Hashirama's body, making him fall to the ground and unable to move, the pressure of the wind too great for one to stand. Naruto turned to the wooden structure towering above and took in a deep breath. "Time to get rid of this," he said as 10 clones appeared around him. They all threw kunai around the top of the statue and they all disappeared in a red flash. They appeared over the wooden statue and made a Rasengan in their hands. The Rasengans were filled with wind chakra, transforming it into a powerful move. "Fuyuten, crashing Rasen Shuriken barrage," shouted all the clone Narutos as they flew downwards, putting the enhanced wind Rasengans in front of them. It looked like 10 comets came raining down on the top of the statue, causing a massive explosion. Naruto covered himself in chakra and red chains came from his back. They surrounded him and started to spin around, giving him the appearances of a drill. "Chakra chains, drill form," said Naruto from within the chains. The chains caught fire, and flew downwards into the massive explosion. Naruto entered the explosion and hit the top of the statue, piercing the inside of it. Hashirama got back on his feet, the wind pressure finally ceasing on him. He saw the incoming explosion headed his way and made a wooden shield around his figure to protect himself. When he brought it back down, he saw his statue with a gaping hole in his head. The stomach of the wooden structure gained a red light until a fireball came from it. The fireball slowly died down to show chains in a drill-like fashion. They became smaller and smaller until Naruto could be seen, looking down at Hashirama. "That should take care of that for a little while," said Naruto as he looked at the injured statue. He focused back on Hashirama, who was on top of a large root and headed up towards Naruto. Naruto readied himself when he saw Hashirama summon a large, bulky sword out of nowhere. Hashirama made a downward slash with his sword, and Naruto replied with a counter of his scythe. Naruto spun around with his scythe in hand and tried to pierce Hashirama's side. Hashirama used the flat side of his sword to stop Naruto, and used the wood that he was riding on to shoot towards Naruto. Naruto, using his mastery of wind, slashed at the overgrown root, cutting it to little pieces. Hashirama started to descend towards the ground, and Naruto was right behind him, his tails pointed towards him. Take this, yelled Naruto as his tails made contact with Hashirama at the same time he hit the ground. A massive dust cloud flooded the area, blocking all eyes focused on the fight. In a different area inside the seal, Sasuke's eyes laid on the ex-leader of the Uchiha clan. So it comes down to me fighting one of my own clan. Such a shame. You could actually help my cause in bring peace into the world, said Madara as he looked at the younger Uchiha. I don't believe in your form of peace because it isn't peace at all. It's people trapped in a dream of peace. A dream that's real in each individual's minds. That isn't peace, said Sasuke as he grabbed his Kiba swords. That really is a shame, for now I must kill you, said Madara as he gripped his gunbai. The two Uchihas focused in on each other before charging at each other. Sasuke, taking the first move, stabbed forward with one of his swords, hoping to pierce the dead man. Madara blocked with his gunbai's flat side, and moved his head to the side to dodge Sasuke's other sword. Madara spun around Sasuke, kicked him in his back, only to make contact with the ribcage of the Susanoo. Sasuke turned around and made a diagonal slash at Madara's chest, only for Madara to jump back away from Sasuke. Sasuke put his swords together and charged up his lightning, shaping it into a sphere. Lightning ball, he yelled and sent the compressed form of lightning to the zombie Uchiha. Madara ran up to the ball and slapped it back at Sasuke with his gunbai, surprising the younger Uchiha. Sasuke's Susanoo gained arms and a face, sliced the ball in half, making it explode. Time to do some damage, said Sasuke as he ran through hand signs. Kaiten, great fireball technique, Sasuke said as he sent a fireball at Madara. Pathetic, said Madara as he used his gunbai as a fan and blew the fireball out. You need to boost your firepower. A flame like that it nothing compared to mine, said Madara as he ran those hand signs. Kaiten, great fire annihilation, yelled Madara as he sent a flood of flames to the wide-eyed Sasuke. This flame is as big as Naruto's, thought Sasuke as he jumped out the way. His Susanoo gained wings on its back and flew away from the hot danger down below on the ground. You aren't safe from me, said Madara as he summoned his own Susanoo to fly in the air. Sasuke and Madara met in the air with swords drawn, clashing against each other. Kaiten, dragon flame release song technique, said Madara as a large number of dragon head-shaped fireballs shot from his mouth and towards Sasuke. Sasuke's Susanoo dodged all of the flaming dragons in the air, taking no damage at all. Chidori, said Sasuke as he covered Susanoo's right hand in lightning. Iso, he shouted as the Chidori transformed into a long blade. Sasuke's Susanoo started to spin in the air, the long blade of lightning cutting through anything in its way. Madara moved to the side, avoiding a would-be death blow to him and his armor. He looked to the side to see one of the Susanoo's ribs were sliced off by Sasuke's blade. Impressive. A lightning blade that cuts anything. A strong change in chakra form. The first I've seen of its kind, said Madara as he repaired his armor. It will be your end, said Sasuke as he flew towards the older Uchiha, ready to take him down. Down on the ground, Mito and Menma were facing off against Orochimaru. He proved to be a challenge to the young siblings, seeing as it is always hard to even land a hit on Orochimaru. You must be quicker than that, said Orochimaru as he dodged a sword slash from Mito. They were in a taijutsu and kenjutsu match, Orochimaru defending against Mito's sword with a kunai. Menma, shouted Mito as she dropped a three-pronged kunai on the ground. Menma instantly appeared in a yellow flash, directly in front of the snake Sannin. Rasengan, shouted Menma as he pushed the attack forward. Orochimaru smirked and circled around Menma, his legs fused together to make a long, snake-like tail. Orochimaru stabbed at Menma, but Mito appeared next to Orochimaru and blocked with her own sword. Sutan, water trumpet, she yelled as a water shot from her mouth. Orochimaru quickly moved away from her and burrowed underground. Sneaky bastard, said Menma as he and Mito got back to back. He's really hard to hit. That tail is making him too fast for us. We need to catch him off guard, said Mito as she studied the terrain around her. A tongue holding a kunai came from the ground in front of Mito, wanting to pierce her midsection. She slashed the tongue in half, only for it to turn into earth when it hit the ground. A clone, she muttered as she kept looking around. Those two are good, thought a hidden Orochimaru as he watched Mito and Menma from behind a rock. His head was protruding from the ground, low to the ground. Their Hashirama is fast, and I only have a small amount of time for me to dodge. I need to get her inside position for me to get in a quick kill. I sense something, said Menma. Mito, also sensing something, turned towards her right to see Orochimaru coming from the ground and slithering their way. Ration, chain lightning technique, said Menma as lightning shot from his hands. Orochimaru moved to the side and headed forward to Mito, running through hand signs. Many hidden shadow snakes, he said as snakes came from his sleeve and shot towards Mito. Sutan, drilling water spears, said Mito as she counted the snakes with sharp spinning spears of water. Orochimaru appeared behind the unsuspecting Uzumaki Namikas, his kunai poised to kill. Die, Orochimaru silently said as he moved his hand forward. Menma jumped in front of the attack and blocked with his three-pronged kunai. Orochimaru drew another kunai and fought against Menma and his skillful kunai-enhanced taijutsu. Mito jumped in the air and grabbed some kunai. She threw them in the air and shouted, "Shadow Shuriken." And hundreds of kunai rained down on Menma and Orochimaru. Orochimaru burrowed underground again, while Menma used his chakra chains to cover himself. "I've got you now," said Menma as he ran through hand signs. He sent his chakra chains down into the earth below him, forming a seal to trap Orochimaru. Raiten, lightning devourer technique, he yelled as a blue aura surrounded Menma. Lightning danced around him dangerously, promising pain to anyone that came in contact with it. Menma slammed his hands down on the ground and lightning erupted from his body into the ground. The sound of lightning crashing echoed throughout the battlefield, and Mito was blinded by a blue light. When the blue light faded away, Menma was shown in the middle of a large crater, standing over Orochimaru's recovering body. "You got him," said Mito as she jumped down next to her brother. "Yeah, now let's seal him up," said Menma. Mito nodded as chains came from her back, ready to finish the job. Orochimaru's mouth opened up to show another healthy Orochimaru with a kunai in his hands. He stabbed Menma in his stomach, causing him to scream out. "That's one," said Orochimaru as he moved to Mito quickly. Mito dodged Orochimaru's stab attempt and grabbed Menma's fallen form and disappeared in a yellow flash, out the large crater. "Menma, are you all right?" shouted Mito as she looked down on her brother's pain-filled body. "Ugh, do I look all right?" he asked as he stood up, his hand clutching his stomach wound. "I need to patch this up. Can't let too much blood out." "Like I'll give you the time to do that," said Orochimaru as he jumped out the crater and towards the two siblings, ready to attack. Sakura stood in front of her eight-eyed statue that looked down on her. She felt herself shaking as she looked at the demonic statue, knowing she could easily die from fighting it. "Damn it, I need some help," muttered Sakura in fear as she gripped her gloves. All the statue had to do was step on her to finish her off. "Why do I get to fight the dangerous statue that can kill you just by stepping on poor me?" Suddenly, the ground next to her exploded, causing the ground to break up and fly in all kinds of directions. Sakura covered herself with her arms, blocking the rocks from her face. "Hey, what's the big idea?" she shouted to the unknown attacker. When the dust cloud settled, and when she was done dusting herself off, she looked up to see the face of a smiling leech, with teeth that could bite through anything. "Hello," shouted Ribi in his indescribable voice. "You are going to help me with that thing?" he shouted at Sakura, using his tail to point at the statue. Sakura didn't say anything, her fear of the leech that looked like it wanted to eat her taking over her body. "Hey now, I need your help. I have no reason to kill you, since Naruto-sama seems to like you so much," said Ribi as he turned around and faced the much larger creature. Sakura took in a deep breath and nodded, ready to face the behemoth of a statue in front of them. "Ready?" asked Ribi. "Yeah," said Sakura as she took a running pose. "Great. Let's go," shouted Ribi as he burrowed underground. Sakura, knowing that Ribi was with her, ran towards the statue. A blue-green diamond appeared on her forehead, releasing her strengths of 100 seal. Ribi appeared in front of the demonic statue with his mouth wide open. Dark chakra gathered in Ribi's mouth and he yelled out. "Black cannon." He sent a pressurized beam of black chakra to the unsuspecting statue. The statue took the attack dead in its stomach, causing it to scream out. Sakura made it to the back of the statue's leg and kicked it hard. The statue fell backwards as it lost its footing, crashing down into the earth below. "Good hit," said Ribi as he wrapped itself around the statue's legs. Time to drain him dry. The statue grabbed Ribi with its gigantic hand and pulled Ribi off of it. Ribi burst into thousands of smaller leeches, all of them burrowing into the ground. Need time to regroup, said one of the small leeches that landed on Sakura's shoulder. I'll stay with you to guide you for now. What? I need help, she yelled. No, you are the best person to fight the statue. Small but packs a punch. You can hit it, but it would be hard for the statue to hit you because you're small and quick on your feet. Just follow what I say, shouted the small Ribi. Sakura nodded as she jumped out the way of the statue's punch that was headed for her. She jumped on the statue's outstretched arm and headed up to its body. Hit it in its eyes. That's the only weakness that it must have, shouted Ribi. Sakura jumped side to side, moving out the way of the statue's attempts to swipe her off of it. She made it to its face and cocked back far, ready to deliver pain. CCCCHHHAAA. She yelled and hit it right in the eye in the middle. The statue screamed out as it fell back and rolled on the ground in pain. Sakura jumped off the statue as it recovered and focused its eyes on her. Oh, it looks kinda mad, said Sakura. Run, said the small Ribi. The statue opened its mouth and a light blue dragon came from it. Its eyes landed on Sakura's form and shot towards her in amazing speeds. Sakura had only a little time to dodge the attack, and her eyes widened when she saw that the dragon just went through the ground like it wasn't even there. It's transparent, asked Sakura to herself. Weehhhh, said a voice. Sakura looked at where the voice came to see that the little Ribi was headed down to the ground, not being able to stay on Sakura's shoulder when she suddenly took off. It made contact with the dragon and it instantly dried up and died. So it kills on physical contact, said Sakura as she said a small prayer for the little Ribi. Seems like I can't get hit by that thing. Sakura jumped to the left as she sensed the dragon come from the ground beneath her, just barely dodging instant death. Sakura headed back towards the statue and jumped on its body, dodging the dragon that wished to kill her. She looked up at the mouth of the statue and got an idea. She ran up to it and punched right on the statue's chin, causing it to shut its mouth. A blue hue shone through the statue's teeth and an explosion occurred in its mouth. Gotcha, said Sakura with a smile as she fell down to the ground. Ribi came from the ground and caught Sakura before she hit the ground. Good job. I won't get hit again, so I'll assist you as you make the main attacks. All right, Sakura as she took control of the battle. Obito grunted in pain as he got cut by Tobimaru's flying thunder god/attack. Tobimaru proved that he was smart as he started to understand how Obito's Kamui worked. You won't be able to win, no. I'm too quick for you, said Tobimaru as he grabbed another kunai. Obito looked at Tobimaru with anger with both his Rinnegan and Sharingan eyes. He knew that the dead Hokage was right. Tobimaru would wait at the right time to attack him, seeing as he was able to place one of his seals on his arm. He had no way of getting the seal off of him, and sending his arm to the Kamui dimension was the only way of escaping death. But he only had 5 minutes to keep his technique active. Suiten, Water Dragon Bullet, shouted Tobimaru as he sent a raging water dragon towards Obito. Obito jumped out the way of the water dragon and flashed his Sharingan. Kamui, he muttered as Fuma Shuriken came from the spiral of his Mangekyo Sharingan. Tobimaru skillfully dodged all the shurikens with ease. He started to run up to Obito, making him run though hand signs in a hurried pace. Kaiten, Blast Wave Wild Dance, said Obito as a long fire in the shape of a spiral flew towards Tobimaru. Suiten, Water Formation Wall, said Tobimaru. Water surrounded him in a protective shell, the flames burning out against the cool water shield. Suiten, Water Bullet, shouted Tobimaru. Using the water from his last move, the water changed itself into a large sphere that blasted towards Obito. Obito substituted himself with a nearby rock. The rock was destroyed by the forceful water blast, the ground beneath it also taking the hit. When Obito landed on the ground, Tobimaru appeared right next to him with a kunai in hand. What? Thought a surprised Obito as he dodged Tobimaru's kunai slash. How did he get here so fast? Obito looked down to see he landed in a field of kunai, all marked by Tobimaru. Mokuton, Underground Roots Technique, said Obito. Sharp roots shot from the ground, ready to pierce through the dead Hokage. Tobimaru appeared and reappeared next to one of his kunai. Damn Uchiha's always stealing other people's techniques, muttered Tobimaru. He threw a herd of kunai towards Obito, which phased through him harmlessly. Obito grunted as he ran through more hand signs. Kaiten, great fireball T-Urk. Obito stopped moving as he felt something stab him in the back. He looked behind him to see Tobimaru with a kunai in his hands, the same one he just threw at Obito. How? Asked Obito. Every time you use a jutsu, I noticed that you couldn't keep up your intangibility. The seal that I placed on you earlier kept appearing every time you used a jutsu, alerting me that you were then able to kill. I just drew out the battle so you wouldn't suspect anything. Once I had your guard down, I went in for the kill, explained Tobimaru. He pulled out his kunai from Obito's back, making him grunt in pain. Damn it, said Obito as he hit the ground face forward. Your descent into your hatred brought you here, said Tobimaru as he walked away. You killed yourself when you allowed hatred to take over you. Naruto looked down at the Hashirama as he grew more roots to fight him in the air. Naruto flew downwards and sliced the roots one by one, not letting Hashirama touch him once. Mokuton, wood dragon technique, muttered Hashirama as he made a large wooden dragon that charged to Naruto. Kaiten, fox trap, said Naruto. Flames erupted from the ground in the shape of a fox head. It closed it more down on the dragon, burning it to a crisp. Kaiten, hellfire missiles, said Naruto as he opened his mouth and placed his hand in front of him. A red light shone from his mouth and flames surrounded his hands. Soon enough, large flaming missiles shot from Naruto into Hashirama. Mokuton, Hobi technique, said Hashirama. A dome-like defensive structure with the face of a dragon protected Hashirama from the harsh attack. That again, said Naruto as he looked down at what seemed to be an indestructible shield. Throughout their whole battle, none of Naruto's attacks could break the dense shield. A purple figure shot past Naruto, and he recognized it as Sasuke Susanoo. It landed harshly into the ground, and Naruto floated back towards the ground to check up on Sasuke. You okay? Asked Naruto as he saw Sasuke deactivate his purple armor. Yeah, this guy is strong. It's taking a lot of energy just to land a hit on him, and then he just recovers too quickly, said Sasuke as he got up from the ground. We should team up. We are facing the strongest ninja in history, it will be better if we teamed up and take them down together, said Naruto. The two looked up in the air as Madara flew right over them. He landed next to Hashirama and smirked at the two younger shinobi. So you two are friends, how amusing, mocked Madara. You almost remind me of Hashirama and me, but you two are different. We were evenly matched, but the fox boy is way stronger than you, Uchiha. Like I don't know that. And stop trying to make us turn on each other. It won't work, said Sasuke with a Sharingan-enhanced glare. We have better teamwork than you two old fossils. We'll see. Even though I hate Hashirama with all my heart, I respect him the most out of anyone in the world. The strong feed upon the weak. You will submit to our power. Shut up, said Naruto as he made a Raisin Shuriken. I don't want to hear a dead man talk about how strong he is, when he was defeated by his best friend so many years ago. The dead need to stay dead. Sasuke coated the Raisin Shuriken with the black flames of the Amaterasu, making it more deadly than before. Naruto added more chakra to the Shuriken, making it larger and larger, almost able to slice at Madara even from the distance between him and Naruto. We will win, he said as he threw the shuriken at Madara, Sasuke rushing in right behind it. Mito was in the middle of a ninjutsu battle with Orochimaru. Or more like, Orochimaru dodging all the moves Mito threw at him. It was really hard to hit someone that could burrow in the ground, and have the flexibility of a snake. Stop moving, shouted Mito as she casted her chains towards the snake Sannin. Orochimaru moved left and right, weaving his way closer to Mito. Silly girl, you should know that you are far away from being able to fight with a Sannin. An immortal one at that, said Orochimaru as he made his way right in front of Mito. She gasped in shock and jumped back, creating distance between her and the laughing snake man. Look at you, running away like a little girl. You can't defeat me, shouted Orochimaru. Mito took in a deep breath as she retracted her chains. Time to take it up a notch, she said as she ran through a long line of hand seals. She looked behind her to see Menma in a weird stance, his eyes closed. Good, He's almost there, she thought as she focused her sight back on the curious-looking Sannin. When she finished running through all of her hand seals, she stretched her back out and looked up to Orochimaru. Those hand seals, what jutsu were they for? He asked. Suiten, water-sky convergence, said Mito as she ran up to the snake man. She threw a punch at the man, which he easily dodged, but was surprised when a water spear that came from nowhere followed her movements and sliced at Orochimaru's arm. What? He said in curiosity as he jumped back. No, don't run now, yelled Mito as she shot her hands forward. Water in all directions flew towards Orochimaru. Orochimaru moved out the way, but the water kept following after him, its movements swiftly following after him. What's going on? Water being able to follow after me like this, said Orochimaru. He spotted Mito and quickly threw Kwani at her. His eyes widened when water came up and protected her. The way the water moves, it reminds me of that boy and his sand, Orochimaru thought out loud, referring to Gaara. Amazing, huh? My Car-san taught me this move, even though she couldn't master it herself. My control of water has surpassed her. Mito yelled as she ran up to Orochimaru. She created a sword made from water and slashed at Orochimaru. Orochimaru countered with his kunai, only for it to be cut in half by the water sword. You can't match me and my water, said Mito as she slashed Orochimaru's arm off. Orochimaru opened up his mouth and another Orochimaru came out, snakes coming out his sleeve. Mito stood perfectly still as water blades surrounded her and cut through all the snakes headed her way. The water blades shot to Orochimaru next, but he jumped away, a safe distance from the water master. Interesting, said Orochimaru as he watched the water move around Mito. Such a move, it could be considered one of the strongest Suiten techniques in the world. Able to control water with just a thought. Even so, it must take a lot of chakra and concentration to be able to keep such jutsu active. Maybe so, but I'll well protected, said Mito as some jumped over. A fully recovered Menma stood in between Orochimaru and Mito, his eyes having an orange tattoo around them. Senjutsu, whispered Orochimaru. You're a sage now. Jiraiya had the same ability. It seems you two really have gotten stronger. Yeah, and you won't be able to beat us now, said Menma. A clone Menma appeared right next to him and made a Rasengan in his hand, which grew larger and larger. Time to face facts, old snake man, you won't win, said Menma as he appeared next to Orochimaru with shocking speeds and pushed his hand forward. Sage Art. Ultra Big Ball Rasengan. Naruto grabbed Sasuke's hand, pulling him off the ground as roots shot up, trying to pierce him. The two were in a heated battle with the founders of Konohagakure, and were keeping up with them. Amaterasu, said Madara from his complete Susanoo. Naruto instantly covered him up with yokai, blocking the black flames that consumed anything. Get him, said Naruto as he used his tails to launch Sasuke at Madara. Sasuke made a Chidori in his hand and pierced right through the Susanoo. Madara moved his body just in time to dodge Sasuke and his deadly lightning. You're in the air now, said Madara as he turned around to see Sasuke high in the air with him. I have you now. Madara's Susanoo made 4 swords that all headed to pierce him. Naruto appeared in front of Sasuke in a red flash and caught all the swords with his tails, holding him back. Damn Uchihas, muttered Naruto, making Sasuke's eye twitch. Right here, man, said Sasuke. Hashirama was on top of his wooden statue, closing in on Naruto and Sasuke. The statue's hands shot out to the two, ready to crush them to death. Some kunai appeared around the hands, and in a flash, Tobimaru cut through all the hands with a kunai enhanced with his water chakra. Sorry for the wait, he said as he jumped on the statue and headed towards his brother. Hashirama moved forward and met his brother in a deadly lock of fist against fist. Tobimaru jumped back and threw a kunai at Hashirama, which he dodged by slightly moving his head to the right. Hashirama charged forward, but Tobimaru teleported behind Hashirama using the seal he placed on the kunai. He grabbed the kunai midair, and went to stab at Hashirama, but a wooden wall separated his kunai and Hashirama's back. Mokuton, great forest technique, muttered the dead Hokage from the other side of the wall. Spikes grew from the wall and headed towards Tobimaru, but Naruto came flying in, grabbed Tobimaru with his tails, and flew away from the spikes. Gah, said Naruto as he looked down at his side. He got cut by one of those spikes, and they dug deep in his side. Are you going to be okay? Asked Sasuke. Yeah, it's nothing, lied Naruto. His side was burning up. That wood was like poison to him. Naruto flew to the back of the wooden statue, seeing it exposed. Sasuke-san, get your Chidori, ISO ready, said Naruto. Sasuke nodded and made the long lightning sword, the blade sparking in its charged state. We're going in, said Naruto as a veil of his yokai surrounded the three. He shot forward, blasting towards the statue. Sasuke placed the long sword in front of the group, making it look like a long lance was headed towards the statue. The lance successfully made it into the statue, a large hole on the back of it. So the fools actually entered the statue. Dangerous move, said Madara. His Susanoo threw two of its swords down to the area where the group entered the statue, the swords successfully lodging into it. That should have killed them, said Madara as he patiently waited to see what would happen. What Madara didn't know was that Naruto teleported the group back down to the ground before Madara threw the swords into the statue. Yokai blast, said Naruto as his yokai surrounded his arm, and shot up towards Madara. The yokai blast hit the Susanoo right under its chin, a huge explosion occurring in the air. In the statue, Naruto left 10 clones inside the entrance he forcefully made. They started to glow a red light, until they all exploded inside the statue. The statue bloated in size until the top part blew up, wood raining everywhere in the area. That worked well, said Tobimaru as he watched the destruction. These two were really strong for their age, especially the one with tails. It won't last. The statue can heal itself, but it will take time. We have this small window of opportunity to at least seal up one of them, stated Naruto. Suddenly, Hashirama landed in front of the group and placed his hands on the ground. Mokuton, wood human technique. From the ground came an enormous statue-like creature made of wood. Its full body was as tall as a biju, it had an Oni-like face with a wooden dragon wrapped around its waist. Another damn statue, shouted Sasuke. The statue punched the ground below him and spears of earth shot towards the group. Tamed winds, said Naruto. Wind blades slashed right through the earth spears. Kaiten, fox trap, yelled Naruto. Flames shot from the ground and devoured the human-like statue. Did you end it? Asked Sasuke. He got his answer when the statue ran out the fire and headed towards the group. Tobimaru grabbed Sasuke and disappeared, as Naruto grabbed his scythe and charged right at the approaching statue. This will end you, said Naruto as he covered his scythe in flames and threw it at the statue. The flames grew out from the scythe, and slashed right through the middle of it. Naruto's eyes widened when the human statue slammed his hand down on top, making Naruto hit the ground hard. Madara watched with amusement as he saw the human statue jump on top of Naruto. There's no stopping that thing. It will keep moving, even through the toughest attacks. That along with Hashirama's thousand-hand statue almost guarantees us a win. Naruto was looking around in the darkness he was in. It seems like the human statue covered itself around Naruto, entrapping him in the middle. What's the purpose of doing this? Naruto asked himself as he looked around. He could see in the dark, thanks to his Kitasuna abilities, but couldn't find an exit out of his captivity. Suddenly, wooden spears shot out all around and towards Naruto. Tamed winds, yelled Naruto as his wind cut through the approaching wooden spears. They kept growing back to their original size, but Naruto slicked through them all, taking no damage at all. Kaiten, fox fire, yelled Naruto as he made a fox-shaped fire towards the walls. He was confused when he noticed that his fire was smaller than usual. When it made contact with the wall, it suddenly burnt out. What's going on? Naruto asked himself again as he took a breath. He tried to breathe, but he felt no oxygen getting into his lungs. Naruto fell to the ground as he felt weak all of a sudden. Damn it, I don't have any oxygen in here, thought Naruto. I burnt it all up with that last attack. The wooden tendrils were still headed towards Naruto, and it was getting harder and harder for him to fight back against them all. Outside Naruto's wooden prison, Sasuke and Tobimaru watched as the wooden human was still curled up around Naruto. Shouldn't he have busted out of there yet? Asked Tobimaru. Yeah, he should've, said Sasuke as he looked down at the wooden structure. Sasuke got this feeling that something wasn't right, and he had to go help out. I think he's in trouble. Wood is his weakness after all, and being surrounded in it must be dong something to him. Yelled Sasuke as he activated his Susanoo and flew towards the wooden human. He used his Susanoo swords free Naruto. They all cut through the sense wood, and Sasuke kept hacking his way into the middle. Once he made it to the middle, he saw Naruto cut up by wooden spears. Naruto! He yelled as he went inside and grabbed him. He put him inside Susanu's protective armor and flew out, away from the dangerous beast. Naruto! Are you alright? Speak to me, yelled a frantic Sasuke. I'm okay, said Naruto as he shook his head, trying to ignore his pain. He had a couple holes in his back and one on his left thigh, some of the places where he got stabbed at. Take me down to the ground. Sasuke landed on the ground where Tobimaru awaited them. He deactivated his Susanoo and rested Naruto on the ground. Naruto, you really don't look good, said Sasuke, and he was right. Naruto wasn't able to recover from Mokuton-based attacks, and he took a lot of hits from inside his wooden prison. I don't care how I look, we need to keep fighting, said Naruto as he got up from the ground. If you say so, we have to. Suddenly a wooden spear appeared from the ground and impaled Sasuke. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw Sasuke's body rise up along with the wooden spear. No, Naruto whispered as he looked up. The wooden beam rose to the sky, now in front of Madara. I've been wanting to do that for a while, said a smirking Madara as he looked Naruto's shocked face. Sasuke's body was hung over the lance, now in front of the moon. You feel that? That's the feeling of having one of you friends, one of the people you consider brothers, die in front of you. Do you understand how it feels? For I had to go through that daily. Everyone died around me, and I had to face facts that this world would never change. You can't change the past, but I was damn sure going to fix the future, because of moments like this. Madara yelled at Naruto. Sakura looked over from her battle, hearing yelling, and saw Sasuke's body. She froze up as she saw her boyfriend's body, hanging limp over a wooden spear. Sasuke-kun, she whispered in disbelief. The demonic statue stood over Sakura and was about to crush her underneath its foot, but Ribi came in just in time to grab Sakura with one of his shadow arms and slithered away. Is something the matter, pink-haired girl? Asked Ribi, calling Sakura by her nickname. Sakura had tears streaming down her face, not even answering Ribi back. No, this can't be happening, she whispered. When Ribi looked in the direction in which Sakura was looking, he understood Sakura's mood swing. Oh, that isn't nice, said Ribi as he slithered over to Naruto's position, the demonic statue strangely not following after them. This is the reason why the world needs to be incased in my genjutsu. This world will never change. Death will always happen, yelled Madara. Naruto's feet left the ground as he slowly began to float up to Sasuke's body. Once he made it, he looked his dead face and pain-shot thought his body. A tear leaked out the corner of his left eye and traveled down his face. Damn it, Uchiha, said Naruto. A wind blade sliced at the wooden spear. Naruto caught Sasuke's body and pulled the rest of the spear out of his body and threw the piece away. Naruto's seal that kept everyone out of the way started to flicker, until it vanished into nothing. Why did you have to save me, damn it, said Naruto as his flew off with Sasuke in his arms. Naruto landed next to his wave ninja and they all surrounded him and Sasuke. Naruto-kun, said Kurama as she hugged him. He didn't return it at all, just looking down at Sasuke. When Kurama released him, she also looked at the dead Uchiha. Are you going to be okay? She asked quietly. Naruto kneeled down next to Sasuke and put his head down on Sasuke's side. It's my fault. I did this. I should have sensed the attack coming, damn you, Uchiha. Naruto said. The wave ninja could see that he was trying to hold back his tears, but it wasn't working. A small stream of tears were on the ground, and Naruto started to shake. Naruto looked up to see Ribi and Sakura headed towards the group. The wave ninja all backed out the way as Sakura ran up to Sasuke's body. She broke down in tears and cuddled Sasuke's head in her lap. No. It shouldn't end this way for him, no, she muttered. Green chakra covered her hands and she started to heal where Sasuke was impaled. Mito and Menma arrived at the scene, Mito having Orochimaru wrapped up in her chakra chains, sealing away his chakra. Oh no, she whispered as she looked at Sasuke's body. Karen stepped up to Sakura and kneeled down next to her. She could sense that Sasuke's chakra network was gone, signaling his death. Pink-haired girl, listen. He's dead. He won. He can't be dead, shouted Sakura as he pumped more chakra into her mystic palm technique. He isn't dead, just hurt, she yelled. Karen slowly grabbed Sakura's hands and pulled them away from Sasuke's body. Sakura just lost hope and cried on Karen's shoulder, and all Karen could do was hold her, trying her best to comfort Sakura. Kurama was rubbing Naruto's back while his head was still positioned on Sasuke's side. "This is all my fault," whispered the crying fox demon. Meanwhile, Madara had focused his sights on Obito. Obito was laying on the ground, blood oozing from the injuries he sustained from his fight with Tobimaru not so long ago. "Seems like you're in a tough position," said Madara as he crossed his arms, looking down upon his ex-student. "Madara, help me," said Obito with a cough. "No, you are no longer needed," said Madara. Suddenly, Black Zetsu appeared and covered the left side of Obito's body. "Black Zetsu, what are you doing?" asked Obito. "Just following orders." "Sorry about this, Obito-san," said Black Zetsu. Zetsu controlled Obito's body and ran through hand seals. Outer path samsara of heavenly life technique. Both Obito and Black Zetsu said. The king of hell came from the ground and opened its mouth. A single green stream of light came from its mouth and hit Madara. Madara smirked as he felt his body regain its regular body heat, and his skin color was now a nice tan instead of the gray cracked skin he had while under the effects of the Edo Tensei. "Finally back," said Madara. Madara's old eyes started to flack away, until he had no eyes at all. "Do you have the Rinnegan?" he asked Black Zetsu. "Got it right here," said Zetsu as he raised his hand to show an eyeball with the ripple pattern of the Rinnegan. "How did you find that?" Obito shouted out weakly. "I know where you hid it. You didn't even notice my presence when I saw you hide it," said Black Zetsu. Madara grabbed the eye out of Black Zetsu's hand and put it in his eye socket. He opened his right eye to show the Rinnegan. "Good," said Madara as he looked down at Obito. "Now for the other eye." Naruto lifted his head from Sasuke's body and looked up at Sakura. "Sakura-san, I'm sorry I couldn't stop this." "No, don't blame yourself for what has happened to Sasuke-kun," said Sakura. "Yes, this isn't your fault," said the newly arrived Tobimaru. "Death happens to everyone. May it be from natural causes, sickness, or in this case, killed by the enemy." "Killed by enemy," Naruto muttered out. "Yes, Madara team did this. Such a poor soul. He wasn't corrupted like the other Uchihas. I would have liked to get to know this young Uchiha you call Sasuke," said Tobimaru. Naruto wasn't listening to what Tobimaru was saying at the moment. He was still stuck on what he said about Madara. "Enemy. Killed him," said Naruto, making everyone look at him. Naruto-sama, are you going to be alright?" asked Sugetsu. Naruto looked down at his hands, seeing Sasuke's blood on them. "The enemy. TCH, you think you can teach an Uchiha? Think again. I'm weak. I'm just a weak Uchiha who's just using his family's name to make myself superior to others. Damn it, Naruto. Do we really have to do all this training? I know I can't defeat you, but I won't run away. Let's go, Naruto. You're really leaving, huh? Take care of yourself, Naruto. What happened to you, Naruto? Incoming, Naruto. I appreciate the help, Naruto. You're my best friend, Naruto. Best friend. Best friend. Best friend. My best friend just died. Died by the hands of the enemy," said Naruto. Naruto's tail straightened out, frustrated by the situation he was in. "The enemy killed Sasuke-san. He did it. My best friend," yelled Naruto as he stood up, looking down at Sasuke. "Sage Art, Gate of the Great God," shouted Hashirama's voice. Sakura grabbed Sasuke's body and jumped away, sensing something headed their way. Red Torii came from the ground and slammed right down on Naruto, blocking his yokai. "That's game," said Madara. "You won't be able to get out of that. Those Torii are able to hold down all Biju. You are no exception." Naruto's body started to feel weak. He couldn't access any of his yokai, and his cuts were dripping blood. Kurama ran up to Naruto and tried to pull him out, only to hiss in pain. She looked at her hands to see they were burned. I can't do anything, Naruto-kun," she cried. She could only see his blonde locks, and his tails were suspended by their own Torii, powerless against the seal placed upon them. "Naruto-kun, are you?" Naruto looked up to Kurama to see her frozen in place. He looked around him to see everyone around him, frozen. Everything started to turn gray, and then white, until the Naruto was in a world of white. There was no sense of direction, nowhere than with him, just blank world. That feeling you have, said a voice behind him. Naruto turned to see Wicked standing behind him with that same smirk he always had on his face. It's the same feeling that made me. The strong sense of hatred and the want to get back. The feeling of self-pity, knowing that you could have done something different. That is what I'm made of. The feelings you have now, are the exact same as mine's. What's happening? Asked Naruto as he wiped his eyes. Wicked's smirk only got larger. He put his hand on Naruto's shoulder and looked him in the eye. We're becoming one, finally. You understand how I feel, and there is no reason to stay separate anymore. We have the same thoughts, or minds are only focused on one thing only. Which is? Asked Naruto. A red light consumed Naruto and Wicked's body, but they didn't react to it at all. Revenge. Revenge on the person that was the start of it all. Said Wicked as he faded away. Naruto's world gained back its color and his eyes shot open. Red chakra exploded out of him and started to creep into the Torii. Anti-seal corrosion, whispered Naruto. The Torii started to turn black, and cracks appeared all over the seal. When the cracks reached the top, the all broke down, turning into dust. A red circle of yokai surrounded Naruto as his body rose from the ash that covered him. His eyes glowed a dangerous crimson as they looked for his target. Madara flew over in his Susanoo and landed 20 feet away from Naruto. Naruto gained a deadly look in his eyes as he looked over at Madara. You were the start, he said in a deep growl. The person that made me this way. The start of it all. Maybe, but a little power-up won't help you. You're wounded. Badly, I must add. You can't win. Your friend is dead. You don't have the manpower. This so-called shinobi alliance. A waste of time and chakra. Said Madara as he pointed to Naruto. It's time for you to get in the damn statue. Submit to me, now. Naruto lifted up his right arm and pointed it at Madara. All of Naruto's tails curled around him, making him look intimidating. I don't listen to you, Naruto said while maintaining direct eye contact with the revived Uchiha. Oh really? Laughed Madara. And what can you do that can defeat me, Hashirama, that snake man over there, and the demonic statue of the outer path all in one? Asked Madara, his Rinnegan glowing. I'm glad you asked, said Naruto with a smirk. A small flame appeared in front of Naruto's hand, and all the wave ninjas' eyes shot open when they saw it. That's, muttered Kurama. We need to get out of here. Now, yelled Karen. He's using it. What the hell is it? Asked Suigestu. No time to explain. Just run, shouted Kurama. All of the other shinobi took the hint and ran back, getting a good distance between Naruto and themselves. Seems you have everyone scared of you, said Madara. What is this move you're about to use? Nothing special, said Naruto as the small flame got bigger. You shouldn't even be worried. Madara squinted his eyes at Naruto, before jumping back, taking heed that Naruto was lying. The flame in Naruto's hand started to get bigger, and Naruto's tail started to emit yokai into the mid-sized fireball. Hashirama ran through hand signs and slammed his hands on the ground. Summoning, quintuple Rashomon, he shouted. Suddenly, 5 Oni-like barriers appeared in between Naruto and Madara. Hashirama's wood human and his several thousand-hand statue also stood in Naruto's path. Nothing will live. Revenge and destruction are welded in this move, said Naruto. The fireball started to grow, and Naruto now placed it over his head. His tails danced all around the fireball, sending his destructive yokai into the glowing fireball. Madara watched Naruto as he added more chakra into his technique. That isn't a regular fireball. Correct, said Naruto's mutated voice. It isn't at all. Ribi came from the ground next to Naruto and wrapped around him, sending its chakra into him. Black chakra mixed in with Naruto's red as he sent it into his fireball. This isn't just a regular fireball. What I'm holding in my hands is a sun, said Naruto, shocking all listeners. Impossible. There's no such move that creates a sun, shouted Madara. There wasn't one until I invented the move, said Naruto as the sun got bigger. The ultimate Rasengan, mixed in with my fire chakra nature, and my kitsune abilities. A star, in the hands of a demon. The mini-sun stopped growing, and a red light shone from it, almost blinding Madara, even from the distance he was from it. The temperature around him could only be compared to an oven. He looked down at his skin to see it flaking up, the moisture drying up instantly. Fear me, and my power, said Naruto as he planted his feet in the ground and pointed the sun to Hashirama's summonings. Kitsune's secret art. Kaiten, flaming purgatory, yelled Naruto as the sun blasted forward, approaching the first Rashomon. The first shield had no chance in surviving, the heat of the technique alone burnt a hole right through. It was the same for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And the last one. The destroyed Rashomon turned into ash as the sun pushed through and headed towards Hashirama's wood human. The human statue placed both its hands forward, ready to block the approaching sun. The sun made contact with the wood human and proved to be hundreds of times stronger than the statue as it ripped right through it, burning it down to the ground. Hashirama's true several thousands hands was the sun's last obstacle. The statue's 1,000 hands all shot forward, ready to complete its task of stopping the sun from headed any forward. The sun made contact with the dense wooden hands of the statue and locked in combat with it. The statue was being pushed back, not being able to stand the heat and fire of the deadly sun. Naruto ran through hand signs and stopped with the release hand seal. For Sasuke, flaming purgatory, supernova, shouted Naruto. The sun gained a large crack on its side, until it blew up. The indescribable explosion swallowed everything. The remains of Hashirama's past summons had no chance of surviving the explosion that even burned the earth itself. The flash of the explosion blinded everyone within miles of it, and the sound of the explosion left everyone deaf while it lasted. Madara was, unfortunately, in range of the blast and was doing everything in his power to stop it. He had his Susanoo active and was absorbing the chakra that was surrounding him, but it was getting to be too much for the old Uchiha. After what felt like forever, the blast slowly, but surely, ended. What it left behind it was a crater whose bottom couldn't be seen, molten rock, and heavily damaged Madara Uchiha. That was too close, said Madara as he looked down the crater Naruto's son made. Such a deadly technique must be considered one of the most powerful moves in the world. The destruction of the move even made Madara's Amaterasu look like child's play. Madara looked to his left to see the demonic statue of the outer path dig itself out of a sea of ashes and rocks. The statue had scars all over its body, and Madara knew that it wouldn't be able to handle any kind of damage like that anymore. Naruto stood in front of the crater he made with a smirk. He knew that what he did was legendary. To permanently mark the earth, with a sun no less, is something people will forever remember him by. Naruto looked up at the demonic statue and his smirk faded away from his face. It's time to end you, said Naruto as he walked over to the demonic statue. Madara saw Naruto approach him and instantly got into a taijutsu stance. What you did is surprising, but that doesn't mean that I'm not scared to fight you. Madara watched as Naruto paid no mind to him as he passed by him, headed straight for the demonic statue. What are you doing? Asked Madara. Naruto still didn't reply and kept heading towards the statue, a casual pep in his step. Kurama, along with all the wave ninja, recovered from the aftermath of Naruto's technique. Couldn't Naruto-sama held back a little? I've got all this dirt in my hair, complained Fuka. What is he doing? Asked Kurama as he looked at Naruto walking towards the statue which held the rest of the Biju. I don't think he's stopping, said Jugo. Maybe he's under a genjutsu, shouted Haku. Madara could have his control over Naruto-sama. After hearing this, everyone jumped up and shot after Naruto, also forgetting the fact that Naruto could dispel any genjutsu placed on him. Stop, Naruto-sama, shouted the wave ninja. They all started to run towards the demonic statue, except for Jugo. He was staring down at Sasuke's body, squinting his eyes at him. Maybe I could do something. Naruto paid his wave shinobi no attention as he floated from the ground and right in front of the statue's open mouth. Naruto looked up at the moon to see the same pale-skinned woman he usually saw at night. She had a smile on her face as she looked down at Naruto. Go, Sochi-san, she whispered before disappearing. Naruto just nodded and faced the statue. Naruto-kun, stop. Don't do it, yelled Kurama. You wanted me, and now you got me, said Naruto as he walked inside. The statue's mouth closed and a purple barrier appeared around it. NNOOOO, yelled Kurama as she slammed against the barrier, too late to save he mate. Damn it. Again. I can't do anything again. They all watched from the outside of the barrier as the statue's eyes started to bleed, and a pupil appeared in the ninth eye. Madara watched with curiosity, wondering what was going on. Black Zetsu, who now had control of Obito's body, jumped next to Madara. What's going on? It asked. I don't know, honestly, said Madara. Why did he just walk into the statue after launching a massive move like that? Said Madara as he pointed towards the crater. This doesn't make any sense. Isn't the boy a seal master? Asked Black Zetsu. Maybe he's doing something to the statue. Madara's eyes shot open as he looked up at the screaming statue. That bastard! Shouted Madara as he ran up to the barrier, pushing past the wave ninja. He's taking the Juubi's power for himself. What? Asked Kurama as she turned her head, seeing Madara place his palms against the purple barrier. Using the Rinnegan's abilities, he absorbed the chakra of the barrier and made a small hole for him to slip in. Once he made it to the other side of the barrier sealed itself back up, not letting anyone inside. You aren't the only one that can absorb chakra, shouted Madara as he climbed up the statue's body until he entered its mouth as well. What the hell's going on? Shouted Kidomaru. Naruto-sama is absorbing the statue and chakra inside it. Maybe. Only time can tell, said Kurama as she watched the scene in front of her. Unknown area. Sasuke's eyes shot open as he floated on the surface of water. He turned his head to see that he was in some type of strange place, seeing as he couldn't see anything off in the distance. Just a continuation of water while the sky was a deep tan color. Where am I? Sasuke asked himself. In your mind, said a voice. Sasuke got up from his laying position to see an old man in all white, floating above the surface of the water. He had a black cane in his hand, and two Rinnegan eyes that were staring at Sasuke with interest. I'm, in my mind, said Sasuke as he looked around. Aren't you concerned about who I am? Asked the old man. Yes, but I know you'll just tell me anyway, even if I didn't ask about who you were, answered Sasuke, making the old man smirk. That Uchiha attitude. You really do remind me of Indra-san, the old man said. Who is that? Asked Sasuke, turning towards the sage-looking man. My son, he answered. And you are? Since you still haven't told me about yourself, said Sasuke. I am Hagoromo Otsutsuki. You may know me by the Sage of Six Paths. Sasuke looked at the man with an unsure look on his face. This man, the Sage of Six Paths. Sure, he had the Rinnegan, and he looked old enough to be the sage. I can hear you, said the sage. It's just my observation of you. Meeting such a person who claims they are the Sage of Six Paths isn't every day, and having a meeting with said person in my mind just sounds unusual, said Sasuke. Your words are true, but I assure you, I am the Sage of Six Paths, said Hagoromo. So what do you want with me? Aren't I supposed to be dead? Asked Sasuke. Yes, but someone outside is keeping your body alive to the minimum. I brought you here to talk, said the sage. About what? Asked Sasuke. You, the war, the Juubi, and Naruto, said the man. Sasuke straightened up when he heard all the topics the man said, making him chuckle. You really do care about that boy. It the first I've seen in one of the two reincarnations get along so well, said Hagoromo. Reincarnations? Asked Sasuke. Correct. You and Naruto are reincarnations of my two sons, Indra and Asura Otsutsuki, said Hagoromo. Explain, said Sasuke. As you may know, I chose my youngest son, Asura, to be my heir. Indra disagreed with my choice and fought against Asura to take up the role as heir to the clan. To his shame, he never won. So what he did was when he died, he reincarnated himself into a newborn Uchiha. Asura, plotting against his older brother, did the same by reincarnating himself into a newborn inside the Senju. After some time that line was broken and Asura reincarnated himself into someone who wasn't a Senju, but in the end, he still stopped Indra every time, explained the old man. So basically, you've been watching your sons fight for years, said Sasuke. Basically, yes, said the saddened sage. I've seen so much, but couldn't do anything about it. They kept fighting, and every time they do, I feel even more of a failure. That's why it's up to you and Naruto to fix my mistakes in the past. So is Naruto-san talking to you somewhere else? Like in his own mind? Asked Sasuke. That's one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, said the sage as he looked up at Sasuke. As of now, I have no connection with Naruto. What do you mean? Asked the young Uchiha. He is Asura's reincarnation, right? Correct, but something else has him, something I fear, said Hagoromo. Which is? Asked Sasuke. My mother, said the sage. You mean Kaguya Otsutsuki? Said Sasuke. Correct. I don't know why, but something happened to where I wasn't able to contact Naruto-san at all. Asura's chakra in him is mutated, in some way. Mutated. How could his chakra change? Asked Sasuke. Well, first, Kurama-san, which you may know as the Kyuubi, turned young Naruto into a half-demon. That transformation changed his chakra signature, since it never has happened where a human with regular chakra turns into a demon and that chakra is changed into yokai. Such a transformation could have affected Asura's chakra in a negative fashion. Said Hagoromo. Anything else? Asked Sasuke. Yes, and this is the scariest to me, said the sage as he took in a deep breath before continuing. Naruto-san has a small amount, even if it is a small amount it is still dangerous, but a small amount of my mother's chakra in him as well. And why is this scary to you? Asked the curious Uchiha. If she has some of her chakra in him, then she would be able to contact Naruto-san sometimes. It would be brief, but thinking back on Naruto-san's past and how he was treated, he could be easily manipulated into finishing my mother's plans in activating the eternal Tsukuyomi. That's impossible. Naruto is said to be the child of prophecy, the one to save the world. Isn't it bound for him to save the world, not trap it forever in a fake world? Said Sasuke. That in itself is another problem. That prophecy was never supposed to be worded that way. The present prophecy is said that Naruto and Kurama would be the beings to save or destroy the world, while the one I had planned was that only Naruto would save the world. Apparently, your current Hokage mixed up who the prophecy was talking about, and believe his other children were the two heroes, which is wrong. Because of such thinking, Naruto-san suffered such a terrible childhood, and is still struggling mentally as well. Explained the sage. Sasuke just took a deep breath and placed his hand on his forehead. This was all too stressful. For Naruto to be such an important factor to the result of how the world would be, he really was treated in the way where he would most likely destroy it then save it. So we don't know how feels about the situation of the world right now. Asked Sasuke. Correct, said Hagoromo. And what if he chooses to side with your mother? The sage just looked off in the distance, not liking the question one bit. Your answer, please, said the impatient Sasuke. I would have to seal him up along with my mother, said Hagoromo. Sasuke glared at the man and he sighed as he got ready to explain. If Naruto-san does actually follow my mother, then there would be no convincing him to stop. You know how stubborn he is. Asura is also like Naruto, always finishing something he started. He will be dedicated to what he does, even going so far to almost killing himself in order to do so. You saw how he was when he tried to destroy Konoha, said the sage. Sasuke closed his eyes, thinking back to that time. They hardly won that battle, both sides taking heavy damage by one person. If he were to do so, I would have you to seal him with my power, said Hagoromo. Me, I can't do that. Naruto is my best friend. Doing this would kill him, shouted Sasuke. There are things you must do that you don't wish to do. That's how the shinobi world is. I can't have the whole world dying over a personal conflict with one's feelings about the person in question, countered Hagoromo. So you don't want to understand Naruto, just trap him? Asked an angry Sasuke. As of right now, yes. Then all you're doing is making another mistake with your son. Hagoromo's eyes widened when he heard this. Another mistake wasn't something he need, and after thinking back on his plan, it did sound like the one he had long ago. It sounds like you're focusing so much on Naruto and just predicting on what he's going to do, and you're not analyzing the other choices that are possible. Don't mess up again and see your sons fight again, said Sasuke. Hagoromo stroked his beard in thought. What Sasuke said is true, only focusing on one option than them all. Looking at all possible outcomes would only be helpful to him and his decision in the end. So you believe in Naruto-san, knowing that he will choose the right path that will, in the end, save humanity? Asked Hagoromo. I completely trust Naruto-san. He has my respect, and will always do what is needed to protect his precious people. He is on our side, stated a confident Sasuke. And what are your thoughts on the current situation that we are in? What do you wish to do? Asked the sage. I want to protect my precious people, too. Naruto is one of them. He has gone through so much. He doesn't need anyone else to betray him anymore. Stated Sasuke. Hagoromo smirked at Sasuke as he nodded his head at Sasuke. Wise words. You even have me, the sage of six paths, creator of ninju, surprised at the words you've spoken to me. Come now, and reach out with your dominant hand. I will give you power that can and will help you achieve your goal. Said Hagoromo. Sasuke nodded and reached out to Hagoromo. As he touched his staff, a bright light covered over him, swallowing him in its warmth. Unknown area. Naruto looked around with his crimson eyes as he took in the sight of a white world. Why does it feel like I've been here before? Said Naruto as he continued looking around at the blank space. He turned around when he felt a chakra source. A powerful chakra source. Once he turned around, he made contact with a familiar woman. Look what we have here. Said Naruto as he glanced at the pale-skinned woman in front of him. She had on a long white kimono that was just as long as her white hair. Her blank eyes gleamed a little and her third eye's dojutsu hypnotically spun around slowly. Hello, Sochi-san, said the woman. Didn't we have this discussion? You aren't my mother, said Naruto as he crossed his arms across his chest. You just don't know any better, said the woman. I am not your mother by blood, but I have been there when you needed me most. At your weakest moment. And when was that? Asked Naruto. Do you remember when you were locked up for the second time? The seal was on the back of that Jonin's vest. You should know better that that wasn't a coincidence, said the woman. Naruto looked at the woman before replying, I've always had my thoughts on that slip up. The first thing that seemed wrong to me was that the person that came in the room wasn't my regular caretaker, which was usually en route Anbu, run by Danzo. Secondly, everyone in that damned village knows good and well that I am a seal master, so why present me the seal that can give me freedom? Explained Naruto. Correct. One of my subordinates was the Jonin that walked into that room. He put the seal on his back because I knew you would see it. Said the woman. Who are you? After all these years of seeing you, I still don't know who you are. Said Naruto. My name is Kaguya Otsutsuki, and I am the mother of the Sage of Six Paths. Said Kaguya. Naruto just looked at the woman as she told him her identity. The mother of the Sage of Six Paths, seems too good to be true. Said Naruto. What do you want me for? Because you are my champion. Said the white-haired woman. You are the one that can fix the errors of the world with my help. I've heard of you from Kurama-chan once. You were the one that tried to trap the world in genjutsu. If you want me to finish your work, then count me out. I don't like the sound of living in a fake world. Said Naruto. I know this. I realized over time while watching you that people can change for the better, and that chakra can be a blessing and help people. Said Kaguya as she sat down. Naruto took a seat beside her, looking at the infinite space around them. So what were your thoughts on people having chakra before you met me? Asked Naruto. I wanted chakra to myself. I was consumed in the thought of having power over all humans, and I was determined to get my chakra back. It was just so important to me and I didn't want to share it with anyone in the world. Stated Kaguya. Interesting. You learned that people could change by an insane demon that was abused since birth. Explain to me that. Said Naruto. It was your journey. Coming up as a boy whose family, friends, and village hated you and would abuse you in the worst way possible. Even after all that, you still made friends. Even though it took you a while to realize that the people you brought together actually trust and respected you, they are you friends. Your precious people. Explained the pale woman. My life was a difficult journey, muttered Naruto as he looked on into the white space around them. Yes, and your rise out of the struggle is admirable. You will be remembered for ages among ages. Said Kaguya. Remembered for what? Asked Naruto as he turned to Kaguya, looking her directly in the eyes. Being a savior, she stated. My chosen one. The one that will create peace throughout the lands. And how shall peace be upheld? Asked Naruto. With an iron fist. Stated Kaguya. Humans, no matter what, will be humans. There will always be one bad apple among the good. You will be the one to scare them into keeping peace, or suffer your wrath. Do you think that is true peace? In peace because of fear rather than everyone actually joining together themselves? Asked Naruto. I would rather choose a peace based on fear than a peace based on an eternal genjutsu, said Kaguya. That is true, said Naruto with a small smile on his face. Over time, the humans will agree to peace, regardless of you keeping an eye over them. They will get used to peace, and over time, war will just be a rarely talked about subject, said Kaguya. That sounds nice, said Naruto, looking off into the distance. Kaguya looked at Naruto for a while until she put her hand on his shoulder, getting his attention. You do know that you're the reincarnation of Asura? She asked. No, I didn't know that, nor do I know who that is, said Naruto. Asura is my son's, the sage of the six paths, son. He is the one that faced against Indra Otsutsuki, his older brother, and won. For ages, the two have been reincarnated into people, and always fight, never settling it. That's one reason why I hated shinobi and their use in chakra. They didn't deserve it, and even now, most of the people walking the earth still don't deserve my I mean their chakra, she growled out. The world would be much simpler without chakra, said Naruto while rubbing his chin. Kaguya looked at Naruto again until she got to what she really wanted to talk to him about. You said that I wasn't your Car-san. Do you still believe that? She asked hesitantly. Naruto stared at Kaguya for a few seconds before answering, yes, I still believe you are not my Car-san. I've told you more than once that I already have one, and that statement stands, said Naruto, not caring about hurting Kaguya's feelings. Kaguya looked down into her lap, a tear coming from the side of her eye. All right. I understand. I was too late to help you. That is my own fault. I will tell you this, though, said Naruto, getting her attention. You said I was the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths son, right? That also means that you are Asura's grandmother. That is what I shall call you. You are my grandmother. Grandmother, she whispered. She grew a small smile as she looked at Naruto with glee shown on her face. I accept that. Thank you. She then gained a serious look in her face as she continued, but that doesn't mean that I'm old, you hear me? Naruto smiled at the women and nodded his head. Sure, old lady, he said with a laugh. Kaguya was about to snap on Naruto for calling her an old lady, but she stopped when she heard his laugh. Her face went from an angry expression to a peaceful one as she watched Naruto laugh. Naruto felt a pair of arms wrap around him and felt Kaguya's warmth as she placed her chin on top of Naruto's shoulder, getting used to the feeling of being close to him. Thank you, honestly. From the bottom of my heart, she whispered. No problem, replied Naruto with a smile. One other thing, said Kaguya as she pulled back. You do know who is Indra's reincarnation is? No. Who? Asked Naruto. Kaguya just smirked at Naruto and Naruto instantly knew. That damn Uchiha, said Naruto as he closed his eyes and smiled. That had to mean that he was alive. Correct. Together with him you shall change the world, said Kaguya. She got close to Naruto and kissed him on his forehead, surprising him. She pulled back and looked him in the eye. Take my power and show the world our strength. So what is right, and do it for your precious people. Understand? Asked Kaguya. Yes, ma'am, said Naruto with a smile. Kaguya put her hand up to Naruto's cheek and caressed his whisker marks, making him purr out in delight. I love you, she muttered as her body started to fade away. Never forget it. Naruto watched as Kaguya's body slowly faded away, her presence gone along too. Naruto felt a water drop on his hand and noticed it was a teardrop. I'm crying, said Naruto. He stood up and wiped his eyes with the sleeve of his hoodie, clearing his face of any tear marks. I've been doing that far too many times, he said as he started to walk into the white world. On the battlefield, Sasuke's eyes slowly opened up to see the darkened sky around him. Good, you're finally awake, said a voice next to him. Sasuke turned his head to see Jugo, taking in deep breaths. Where? Asked Sasuke. Back to the land of the living, said Jugo. I healed you. You were on the borderline of life and death. I knew that you would die if I didn't step in to help. Thank you, said Sasuke as he stood up from the ground. Jugo also did the same, but Sasuke noticed something about that changed Jugo a lot. Weren't you taller? What happened? Asked Sasuke as he looked down at Jugo. When I healed you, it took a lot of chakra and with it, some years off my body, said the younger, childlike boy. Why did you do this for me? asked Sasuke. Because Naruto-sama was sad that you were dead. I only wished to please my leader, no matter what the cost, stated Jugo. But forget about me, you should see yourself. Got yourself a power boost, I see. Yeah, said Sasuke, reaching up to his left eye that is now a Rinnegan with 6 tomo surrounding his pupil. I got it from someone. Well, Uchiha-san, I'm going to ask you to save Naruto-sama and stop the other Uchiha, said Jugo. Where are they? Sasuke asked. Jugo only pointed to the purple barrier that was surrounded by the ninja of the Shinobi Alliance. With a nod of his head, Sasuke jumped towards the barrier. I feel something moving on the inside, stated Karen. Everyone around paid attention to the shadow that was approaching the perimeter of the barrier. Slowly, a pale hand could be seen pushing against the barrier. Is that Naruto-sama? Asked Fuka. I don't know. I can't recognize the chakra signature at all, said Karen. Everyone moved back as the hand passed through the barrier, and the figure's elbow came with it. Karen's head snapped upwards as she now noticed the chakra signature. Shit. Get back. It's Madara. Everyone, taking heed to her warning, jumped back away from Madara, who now made his way out the barrier. Hey. Ha. Do you see me now? He yelled with a wicked smile. Madara Uchiha is now the Jinchuriki of the Juubi. Impossible, muttered Kurama. There's no way possible that you could do such a thing. Oh, that's where you're wrong. Once I entered inside the demonic statue, I used my sealing jutsu, 6 paths 10 tails coffin seal, a seal specifically made to seal the Juubi, and sealed it inside me, said the smirking Madara. That means Naruto-kun got absorbed also, muttered Kurama, a tear on the side of her eye. No, I believe Naruto-kun is still alive, said Karen, gaining everyone's attention. There is still a massive amount of chakra on the other side of that barrier. I'm guessing that's Naruto-kun. That bother me, said Madara. I guess I'll just absorb him, he said as he turned to the barrier. He jumped out the way when kunai with a line of explosive notes attached to it. The explosion made everyone jump back, dodging any harm that came with it. I can't let you do that, said Sasuke as he glared up to Madara, who was now floating up in the air. Naruto-san is still alive, and I won't let you hurt him. Sasuke-kun, shouted Sakura. She started to run up to him, but he put his hand forward, signaling for her to stop. Don't come any closer, Sakura-chan. I know you're glad to see me, and I'm glad to see you, but the situation is too dangerous right now. I don't need you getting hurt, he said. Oh, you plan on battling me by yourself? Asked Madara with a smirk. How funny. You won't be able to win. I have the power of the Rinnegan and the tailed beast, while you only have half of that. You won't win. It's impossible. I don't have to win against you, said Sasuke, making the older Uchiha look down on him in confusion. All I have to do is wait until Naruto is done inside that barrier. A stalling game, I see, said Madara with a smile. Let's see if you'll live long enough to accomplish your goal. I shall, said Sasuke as his Susanoo surrounded him. You will lose. All I have to do is wait. Then I'll attack, yelled Madara as he commanded 2 of his truth-seeking balls to shot towards Sasuke. Sasuke quickly dodged past the dangerous orbs and flew into the air. You don't get away from these things so easily, muttered Madara as he flew up in the air with his orbs, closely following behind Sasuke. Sasuke flashed his Sharingan down to Madara and whispered, Amaterasu. Madara took a hard right as black flames appeared where he once was. A line of flames shot to Madara, and he used his truth-seeking orbs to attack. Go! Shouted Madara as he formed one of his orbs into a spear. It flew to Sasuke at insane speeds, but Sasuke anticipated the attack and moved to the left, dodging the spear. Chidori! Yelled Sasuke as his Susanoo's hands were both covered in lightning. He dropped down to Madara's position in the air, ready to impale him. Pathetic, stated Madara as he made a shield with his truth-seeking orbs. The shield successfully blocked Sasuke, and then started to form around him and his Susanoo. With your strength, you won't be able to break through the orbs. The air pure yin chakra, and I can form them at any time, said Madara with a smirk. Like I care, said Sasuke as he shook the creeping orbs off of him. He flew back some and took in a deep breath. Enten, Susanoo Kagutsuki, he said. His Susanoo gained a black sword made of the Amaterasu flames. Good control over the Amaterasu. It shows your strength. But it is for no reason, stated Madara as he ran through 3 hand seals. Tengai Shinsei. Sasuke's head snapped upwards and saw a giant meteor headed down on him. He threw his sword at Madara, which he blocked with his truth-seeking orbs, and focused on the giant rock ahead of him. This won't stop me, said Sasuke as his Susanoo gained a bow and arrow. I've come too far now, he stated as the Susanoo pulled its arrow back. Sasuke cased it in his lightning chakra, making the arrow's piercing power increase immensely. Indra's arrow, said Sasuke as he released the arrow. The arrow, at speeds that couldn't be seen by a normal human's eye, shot towards the meteor and slashed right through the middle of it. Susanoo Kagutsuki, said Sasuke. Sasuke manipulated his Amaterasu to form into giant shurikens and launched them one by one to the 2 halves of the large meteor. As soon as the shurikens made contact, huge explosion broke out in the sky and rocks were falling down from the ground. Good job at stopping the meteor, said a voice from behind Sasuke. He was kicked downwards as Madara was seen behind him with his right leg outstretched. Lucky hit, said Sasuke as he flew back up to Madara. Madara just smirked and ran through hand seals. Sage art, yin release lightning dispatch, he said. Purple lightning came from his hands and shot down towards Sasuke and his Susanoo, trapping him. You forget, I have the Rinnegan now, said Sasuke as he absorbed the chakra from the technique, adding the extra chakra to his already large reserves. You're going to have to do better than that. No problem, stated Madara. Madara's chakra spiked and he smirked down at Sasuke. Limbo, border jail. Seeing with his Rinnegan, 5 Madaras appeared out of nowhere, confusing Sasuke. What's going on? He muttered as he squinted his eyes. 2 of the created Madaras blasted towards Sasuke with their hands cocked back. Sasuke weaved around the 2 and used his Susanoo arms to counter, but the 2 Madara caught the arms with ease. 2 of the other Madara shadows dropped down on Sasuke and hit him with an double Sage Chakra enhanced kick. Damn, said Sasuke as he was hit back down, closer to the ground. This just isn't getting it. Seems you're having second thoughts about victory, stated Madara. Seems like you won't win after all. Sage art, storm release light fang. A small purple stream of light shot down from Madara's mouth to Sasuke. Sasuke saw the chakra packed into the laser-like move with his Sharingan and quickly moved out the way. The beam came in contact with the ground below and broke the surface like it was nothing. That isn't good, said Sasuke as he watched the damage it did. He turned his head forward to see one of Madara's shadows headed his way. Enten, Susanoo Kagutsuki. The Madara shadow was ready to hit Sasuke with his truth-seeking balls, but Sasuke spun around it and stabbed his newly made Amaterasu sword into the shadow, killing it with the everlasting flames. That's one, said Sasuke as he kept dodging the small but deadly laser that Madara was shooting at him. He looked down back at the ground when he felt a large chakra spike coming from the purple barrier. He'll be out soon, thought Sasuke as he continued his battle with the ex-Uchiha leader. He dropped to the ground as he met up with another one of Madara's shadows in hand-to-hand combat. Sasuke kicked at the shadow with his right leg, but the shadow blocked it with his truth-seeking orbs. Shadow Madara jumped over the shield and cocked his fist back and punched at Sasuke. Activating his Susanoo, one of its many ribs protected him from Madara. Sasuke circled around Madara and grabbed his legs and threw him into one of the rocks that fell from the meteor Madara made not too long ago. Chidori, shouted Sasuke as he appeared in front of the fallen shadow Madara in the blink of an eye. He sent some of his 6 paths chakra into his Chidori, making it black. He pierced right through the heart of the shadow Madara, causing it to bleed out and fade away. 2 down, thought Sasuke as he felt another large chakra spike coming from the purple barrier. Small cracks started to form around the barrier, signaling that Naruto was soon to come out. Madara also noticed the chakra spike and frowned. He's going to come out soon. I need to end this useless battle now and start the plan. Sasuke looked around him when the 3 remaining shadow Madaras landed around him in a triangle, leaving him in the middle. Let's get this started, shall we? Said Sasuke as he unsealed his Kiba swords. He made a Chidori with Sage Chakra, creating a black lightning that encased his Kiba swords. All 3 of the Shadow Madaras manipulated their truth-seeking orbs into spikes and sent them to Sasuke. Sasuke slashed at all them, cutting them all into little pieces. In case, muttered one of the shadow Madaras. The small black pieces started to form together around Sasuke until he was trapped inside a black ball made of yin chakra. Mokuton, great forest technique, stated the other two Madaras. Their right arms were changed into a long wooden lance and charged towards the black sphere. Both stabbed into the sphere, impaling whatever was inside. That shush, the second Madara was cut off as a sword was impaled into his stomach, along with the other Madara that had its arms stabbed into the black sphere. How are you moving so fast? And to get out the sphere we made should be impossible, asked the last Madara as the other two faded from existence. Amano Tejikara, said Sasuke. One of the moves my Rinnegan came with. I can instantly appear in places close of my range, making it the best for surprise attacks against the enemy, stated Sasuke. And why did you just tell me how your attack worked? Asked the real Madara as he floated down to the ground. Because I won, he stated, confusing Madara. What do you mean by that? Asked Madara. You're Naruto's problem now, said Sasuke with a smirk, making Madara turn his head to the purple barrier that was covered in cracks. Kurama was watching the battle of Sasuke and Madara until she felt a searing pain. Ah! She yelled out as she fell to the ground. The wave ninja reacted instantly as they surrounded Kurama. Kurama-sama, are you alright? Where did you get hit at? Asked Kin. Ah, what's going on? She muttered as she clutched her shoulder. She lifted her hand off her shoulder to reveal her mate mark glowing a dangerous red. Your mark, it's going crazy, muttered Gurren. Suddenly, Kurama's mark changed from the kanji, 9, to 10. He's changed, said Kurama as she took in a deep breath, the pain slowly disappearing. He's coming back. The purple barrier suddenly exploded, dust flying everywhere. A very dark presence filled the area, scaring everyone in range of the demonic, monstrous key. What is that? Minato whispered as he felt the key that chilled him to the bone. Kushina and the other cages also felt the key, wondering the same. It must be Naruto-sama, whispered Mei, the feeling of despair washing over her. She never felt this way in her life, and she wondered if the owner of the key she was feeling was on the allied shinobi's side. Madara's eyes squinted as he made out a silhouette in the dust cloud, floating in the air. So you've returned, said Madara, looking up at the shadow with his Rinnegan eyes. Seems like another flaw in my plans. Sasuke looked up at the shadow as it slowly lowered itself down onto the ground. The sound of sandals hitting the ground echoed throughout the battlefield. Naruto, is that you? Asked Sasuke, his voice reaching out to the approaching shadow. Yeah, I'm glad you're alive, Uchiha, said the now identified Naruto as he stepped out the smoke cloud. Naruto now had on a long white robe that was many sizes too large for him, his arms hidden among the sleeves. 10 black balls, which Sasuke knew them to be truth-seeking balls, followed behind Naruto wherever he went. His tails were the most noticeable thing in change. The tails all grew in length, and most importantly, he had grown a 10th tail. Naruto walked up to Sasuke's side with his eyes closed. He stopped once he was near Sasuke and continued his conversation with the Uchiha. You've done well. You really have gotten stronger. Yeah, but I guess now's the time where you show out and make my power look like child's play, said Sasuke with a smirk. Correct again, said Naruto as he opened his eyes. Madara's own eyes almost shot out his head when he looked at Naruto's face. No, there's no way possible, muttered Madara as he stared at Naruto. I feel so complete, muttered Naruto as he stretched out his arms. I feel at peace, the voices in my head, completely gone. It feels like I've gained control, said Naruto. Control? Over what? Asked Sasuke. My sanity, said Naruto as he faced Madara with his new Rinnegan Sharingan eyes. The eyes of the Juubi, said Madara in fear. He really wasn't expecting this to happen. For the boy to awaken the Rinnegan Sharingan in both his eyes is the most impressive and powerful ability a man could have. I'll leave you to it then, said Sasuke as he took a couple steps back. Naruto took in a deep breath and looked at his arm. He could see the chakra flowing through him like floodwaters taking over anything within its way. Naruto faced the scared Madara and smirked. This is my world you're messing with. I don't want you here anymore. Madara quickly commanded all his truth-seeking balls to attack Naruto. The black yin balls flew towards Naruto with blinding speeds, naked to the man's eye. Naruto, on the other hand, just used all his tails to catch all the orbs like they were a child's rubber ball. This is also my chakra you're throwing around, said Naruto as he slowly started to absorb the yin chakra. I'll take that back as well. Impossible, shouted Madara, watching the scene of his truth-seeking orbs absorbed easily by Naruto. That shouldn't have happened. None of this should be happening. Nothing is impossible now, muttered Naruto. Madara whipped his head behind him as he came face to face with Naruto. I am invincible. Madara's eyes bulged out his head as Naruto punched Madara in his stomach, blasting him in the air. Madara couldn't stop himself as the force of the punch was too great for the almost god being. Before Madara could actually catch himself, Naruto appeared behind him and caught him by his sleeve. Once I take hold of you, I will be able to drain all of your chakra right out of you, said Naruto. Madara felt his chakra reserves drop the instant Naruto touched him and started to shake himself out of Madara's grip. You think your little power boost will do you any good? I am Madara Uchiha. I am the one that will place this world in genjutsu. The one that will change everything. I won't allow it, said Naruto as he kicked Madara down to the ground. Once again, the Uchiha was helpless against Naruto's inhuman strength. A black portal appeared behind Naruto and he slowly entered in without anyone's notice. Madara slammed into the ground with such impact, that his imprint was engraved into the ground. Damn, said Madara as he spit up blood by the ground beside him. That boy's hits were already affecting his stamina. Madara growled out in anger as he got up from the ground and looked around him. Where are you? Come face me. A small black portal opened up beneath Madara and Naruto's hand shot out and grabbed Madara's ankles. Madara felt something grab him along with a major drop in his chakra reserves. Gah! Get off! He shouted as he ran through hand seals. Kaiten, great fire annihilation! He screamed. A blazing hot fire shot from Madara's lips and to the hands that held him in a tight grip, not caring if he could be injuring himself in the process. As Madara's fireball started to weaken until it was gone, he growled in anger when he saw Naruto's hands still covering him. Get off me! He shouted as he flew up in the air, pulling Naruto out of his portal. Naruto let go of Madara as they were back in the air. Madara was taking in deep breaths, his chakra reserves taking a huge fall. I don't care if you have those eyes. You aren't the only one. He shouted as he pulled off the headband on his forehead, revealing a slit right underneath. It opened up to show a single Rinneya Sharingan. You think you've won? There's no such thing as beating Madara Uchiha. He shouted. Naruto looked around him to see a dozen shadow Madaras made from the original's limbo, border jail. You still wish to fight? Then come, said Naruto. 2 of the 12 rushed forward to Naruto, in which he was ready for. Both made a small sword with their own truth-seeking orbs and pointed it at Naruto. Naruto caught the blades and broke them in half easily. Fake shadows, muttered Naruto as he grabbed the shadow Madaras with his 10 tails. Each tail grabbed a limb, legs, arms, and even his head. With no mercy, Naruto pulled his tails with a tremendous force, also pulling the limbs off while doing so. The Madara shadows faded away, dead. Next, said Naruto. 5 other shadow Madaras surrounded him in a circle. 3 then flew forward with their hands outstretched. Naruto caught each punch with his tails and wrapped themselves around the Madaras. The other 2 ran through hand seals. Sage Art, Yin Release Incinerator. They both said as a concentrated stream of flames worked its way towards Naruto. Naruto made 2 black portals in which the 2 individual streams of fire entered, disappearing. Another 2 portals appeared behind the fake Madaras, and the flames shot out at them. They quickly moved out the way of the flames, but weren't ready for Naruto to catch them both with his tails. Time to take a fall, he said in his deep voice as him and the Madaras that were trapped in his tails started to head down to the ground at blinding speeds. Kaiten, fox trap, muttered Naruto as he stopped in the air and threw the shadow Madaras down to the ground. A flaming fox head shot out from the ground and consumed the Madaras in its inferno of a mouth. The real Madara watched in anger as Naruto went through his shadows. It was like nothing could stop him at all. All of you, at once, he yelled. The shadow Madaras listened to their creator and charged at Naruto at once. Sage Art, Fuyuten, Tamed Winds, muttered Naruto. Sage Chakra enhanced wind blades quickly and easily sliced their way into the last 5 shadow Madaras. They all faded away, signaling the death. No, I won't go down like this, shouted an enraged Madara as he made more truth-seeking balls. They all twisted around each other, making a long sword in the form of a double helix. Madara started to laugh manically as he looked down at Naruto. This sword is the sword of Nunoboko. The Sage of Six Paths used this sword to create the world in how he wanted it. With this, I'm invincible, shouted Madara as he charged towards Naruto. How shallow. A big sword. A very little deal, said Naruto as he placed his hand forward. Madara came charging towards Naruto with a rather loud battle cry, while Naruto floated in the air calmly, waiting on the crazy Uchiha to come closer. Sage art, Fuyuten, tamed wins, said Naruto. To Madara's surprise and fear, the middle of the sword of Nunoboko was sliced by an invisible wind blade. Madara watched in fear as the wind blades tore through his legendary blade like it was just a regular kunai. The broken pieces of the sword were drawn over to Naruto, thanks to his newly achieved gravity abilities, and he absorbed every piece. Madara stood dumbfounded as he looked down at his hands, where just a few seconds ago, the most powerful sword in history was destroyed. Madara's face of shock turned into a face of anger as he looked up at the moon. I can still succeed. I can still win, he yelled as he blasted off towards the moon. Stop, was all Naruto said, and Madara suddenly stopped in mid-air. Naruto floated up to Madara and faced him with both of his deadly Rinnegan Sharingan eyes. Madara was sweating bullets as he looked around, scared that he couldn't move his body at all. I have manipulated the gravity around you to hold you still in the air. You won't be able to get out, said Naruto as he placed a hand on Madara's shoulder. I don't care that you have the same eye as me, because you only have one. My eyes, however, are more advanced, and I can control them better than you ever will, said Naruto as he took off his wave headband, revealing his own slit on his forehead. It opened up to reveal yet another Rinnegan Sharingan, making Madara even more scared for his life. You have been a nuisance to me, directly and indirectly. I want you out. Out of this world, out my life, and out the life of my precious people, said Naruto as he talked to the still frozen Madara. My Rinnegan Sharingan has a special ability. The regular Rinnegan allows the wielder to absorb the chakra of anything physically touching the user. My Rinnegan Sharingan does that and allows me to close your chakra pathways, permanently, whispered Naruto to the wide-eyed Uchiha. I have the ability to end a shinobi's career without killing them, said the calm Naruto. No, Madara managed to whisper out. Yes. You should have known this was going to happen. You shouldn't have possibly believed that you and your stupid idea of trying to place the world, my world, into an eternal genjutsu. Your hatred got the best of you. All the planning you've done, for nothing. All the work you've done, for no reason. All the manipulating. The lies you had to be told, only to be shoved right back down into your face, said Naruto to the shaking Madara. That feeling you have, the one that about to burst your heart open. Your hatred. It's turning into despair, you won't win. You can't win, because you failed. Almost 100 years of work, destroyed. I am the master of all negative feelings, seeing as my whole life was formed around them, and I know when one is experienced them. All I can't tell is one thing. While I'm draining your chakra reserves dry right now, I wish to know, what are you thinking? What are the words that you have in your head right now? The words that describe your life's goal, reduced to nothing, said Naruto. Madara's lip was quivering and a small tear appeared on his right eye. It slowly trailed down his cheek, reaching his chin, before falling down to the ground. You have nothing to say. Noting at all? Asked Naruto. When he got no reply, he just sighed. The great Uchiha Madara, reduced to a trembling child. What a waste of words people use to describe as. You are nothing but a dead man to me, said Naruto. Madara's white hair changed back into his original black spiky hair, while his Rinnegan slowly deformed into a three-totem Sharingan. No, whispered out Madara again, feeling his chakra forcibly taken from him. His skin started to grow wrinkles and his bones started to stick out from his skin. Yes, you lose. And one other thing, said Naruto as he glared at Madara. I don't want you looking at me with those cursed eyes anymore. Madara's eyes shifted from a three-totem Sharingan into two-totem, then one-totem, until his Sharingan disappeared from his eyes, his regular black eyes replacing where once his red Sharingan was. Madara's skin was full of wrinkles and he looked sickly and pale. His hair turned white again, but was a white that wasn't filled of power, but of his power being taken from him. Die, whispered Naruto as he released the increased gravity around Madara. Madara's old body fell from the air and sped to the ground, plummeting to his doom. All of the shinobi watched in anticipation as Madara headed to the ground. Before he made contact with the ground, something caught him. His body was turned around. He met eyes with the one and only Kyuubi. You're not going out like this, she said with a smirk. You're dying by my hands. Kurama covered her hands in an intense fire. It quickly encased Madara, slowly burning the man alive. Naruto dropped down in front of Kurama with a smirk on his face. She smiled and threw the burning corpse on the ground and grabbed Naruto's hand. You look good, she said. Feel good. I feel like I've finished things, he said. You did it, shouted a voice. Naruto turned his head to see Anko and Yakumo running up to him, finally making it back from their battle with Kabuto. Kurama smiled as she watched the two tackle Naruto down to the ground, hugging him. You did it. You did it. You crushed that fucked up Uchiha, yelled Anko with the widest smile on her face. She was rubbing her cheek against his, not caring about anything else around her. You were amazing. You came out the black thingy. And then you did some other stuff that I can't explain. You were amazing, shouted a very excited Yakumo. Naruto-sama, shouted a herd of people. Naruto looked up to see all of the wave ninja running towards him. We won. We ACTCUTALLY won, shouted Sugetsu as he joined in the dog pill. We're not dead. Thank God, yelled Kidomaru. I can continue to get pussy, yelled Zaku, crying in happiness. I still have to deal with this dumbass, said Kin as she hit Zaku upside his head, trying to hold back the smirk appearing on her face. I get to see Tsunami-chan again. Everything turned out for the best, said Zabuza as he took in a deep breath of satisfaction. The wave ninja were having their own little party in the middle of the battlefield, while the rest of the allied shinobi force were having their own little way of celebration. I'm alive. Yes bitch, shouted Kiba as he held onto himself. Everyone around him were either hugging or shaking hands with someone. We made it, said Menma as he dropped down to the ground, fatigue getting to him. That's good. I know I can rest easy now. We all can, said Mito as she looked at the group of wave ninja. And it's all thanks to them. Seems your plan really did come through, Unoki, said her as he patted the floating man's shoulder. Yeah, I told you I was smarter than you, mocked Unoki with a laugh. All I could do was give a small laugh. I won't agree down like all the other times. You've won this one. Minato took in a deep breath, finally accepting the fact that they won. We won, ooh. I was for sure that Naruto was going to turn his back on us. Naruto-kun wouldn't do that, said Mei. He was too focused on the war than dealing with you all. Turning his back on us would just cause more problems for him, something I know he doesn't wish to deal with. Either way, I just know one thing, said Gaara, stepping up next to the two older Kage. Naruto-san is the strongest person in this world right now. I'm glad that he's on our side. With the wave group, they were all happy that Naruto won the war for them, but a forgotten subject was brought up. I'm glad we won, I just wish Fu-chan was here to see it, whispered Yakumo as she wiped her eyes, feeling tears build up. Yeah, she shouldn't have died like that. Killer Bee-san, too, said Haku. Don't worry, said Naruto as he stood up from the dog pile. I have a way to bring her along with the rest back. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? Asked a hopeful Yakumo. Naruto took in a deep breath and his Rinnegan Sharingan glowed crimson. Outer Path Samsara of Heavenly Life Technique. Suddenly, the King of Hell shot up from the ground, surprising any nearby people. It opened up its large mouth and green streams of life can flowing out. What are you doing, Naruto-kun? Asked Kurama. Bring them back, he answered. Naruto's long tails wrapped around themselves, making a sphere. A red light was shown from the cracks, and once the tails untangled themselves, Fu's body was laying on the ground. Fu, shouted Yakumo as she grabbed her body and cradled her head. A green light rained down onto Fu's body, making it glow for a while until it died out. Ugh, said Fu as she placed her hand on her forehead. I just had the worst dream. Fu, you're back, everyone yelled as they tackled her down as well. Wait a hold second. What the hell are you all talking about? She yelled. You were dead. But Naruto-kun brought you back to life. I thought I would never be able to talk to you again. Cried out Yakumo in happiness. Fu looked up to Naruto and saw his new form. Wow, seems you taken an upgrade. And you have 10 tails now. And some weird ass eyes, too. I'm sure you'll fill me in later. But thank you, she said. No problem, said Naruto. He started to lean on Kurama, causing her to worry. Are you going to be alright? Asked Kurama. Yes. I'm not just used to my new powers yet. Over time, I will get 'em down. Said a tired Naruto. Weehhhh. Back from the dead, bitch. Shouted the newly reborn B. I thought you were dead. Yelled as he hugged his younger brother. He then quickly pulled back and grabbed his face. How dare you put me in such a position? The Iron Claw for you. Hey, do you feel that? Asked she, one of the sensory shinobi from Kumo. No, what is it? Asked Darui, looking at his friend. A lot of people are headed this way. People that died. They're back. He shouted in joy. Soon enough, people flooded into the battlefield, he once dead shinobi reunited with their fellow soldier. Everyone rejoiced at the miracle happening to them, and celebration occurred throughout the land. Wait a second, said Minato, noticing something. None of these shinobi are from Konoha. Because I left them dead, said Naruto, catching Minato and some other leaf ninjas' attention. I told you, I don't care for Konoha, that also includes the people inside it. They shall remain dead. Think of it as my revenge for the past. I didn't destroy Konoha, but you can suffer as everyone else around you is happy that their friends are alive, while you grieve. Said Naruto. Minato could only bow his head in shame as he felt guilt in his heart. Naruto turned back to his shinobi and asked, what happened to the first Hokage? Sealed up. We found his body regenerating and called up one of the sealers. They took care of the problem. Tobimaru-san left to go back to the afterlife not too long ago. He said good job at winning. Said Kurama. Naruto nodded as he floated up in the air, getting everyone's attention. Listen to me and listen well. This world is under my protection and I won't let anything happen to it. I will be leaving this world soon, listen closely. I will not tolerate any more wars between lands. Too many people have died in the past for war, something shinobi should put behind them. I will be watching, and if anyone tries to create another war, I will return and destroy you and your village. No one would be left alive. So take the chance at peace rather than violence, because if not, you are going to be dealing with an enemy worse than Madara Uchiha. Understood? He shouted. After getting confirmation from the shinobi that they would listen, he floated back down to the ground to be face to face with Sasuke and Sakura. Good job, said Sasuke with a smile. Sakura hugged Naruto closely, knowing this may be one of the last time she would see him. Take care, all right. I don't know where you're going, but it may be a while. I don't know when I will see you again, but just make sure to remember us, all right? She asked with tears running down her eyes. I will come see you sooner than you think. I promise you, Naruto said with a small, fanged smile. She nodded and let go of Naruto. Sasuke was next as he put his hand forward. It's good to know that my best friend has come to peace with himself. I wish you the best of luck, said Sasuke. Naruto nodded and grabbed Sasuke's hand, giving him a firm shake. Thank you, Sasuke-san. For everything. For teaching me how it feels to have a best friend, said Naruto. Sasuke smiled at Naruto and nodded, taking his words to heart. Naruto let go of Sasuke and turned around. Wave, he called, and all of his wave ninja jumped around him. A black portal opened up in front of the group, shocking a few of them. Let's go home, he muttered as he grabbed Kurama's hand and walked into the portal. One by one, all of the wave ninja. The last person to enter the portal was Tayuya, but she had something different in mind. Tayuya turned to the rest of the shinobi force and threw up both of her middle fingers, shocking the crowd at her disrespect. Fuck all y'all fuckers. Wave ninja for life, bitch. Fuck the leaf, cloud, mist, sand and rock. Wave in this bitch taking SHT the fuck over. All y'all just some pussy ass little boys. Dick in the BOTTY having ass bitch. Wave gang in the bitch. We made it. Y'all just some bystanders. Some SIDELINERS. Wave shinobi BPLAYIN all 4 quarters bitch. Wave's the strongest nation in the world. We got it. A tail shot from the portal and pulled Kaguya inside, ceasing her curse feast. Sorry about that. Please go about your business, said Naruto as his head retreated back into the portal. Slowly the portal closed itself, the wave ninja's presence is disappearing with it. 3 days later, Naruto and Kurama stood on a large hill that was facing the one of the many beaches of wave. They were both relaxing in the sun, taking in its heat. I should start the process now, said Naruto as he picked himself up from the ground. Do you have enough energy to do something like this? Asked Kurama. Don't worry, I have energy now, but I'll be tired for a while after it. I can recover from it quickly as well, said Naruto. 9 of Naruto's truth-seeking balls floated in front of him as he placed his hands forward. Chakra transfer technique, said Naruto as he started to send chakra into the orbs, and they all started to slowly glow a bright light. Naruto grunted as he started to add more chakra into his technique, and a veil of yokai surrounded him. Slowly the 9 black orbs started to take shape as small creatures. The beast continued to grow and grow, their chakra reserves also increasing in size as well. Soon enough, the 9-tailed beast that the previous sage of 6 paths created stood high in the sky in their Biju glory. Holy shit, I'm alive, said Shukaku. He looked down to the tired Naruto that was leaning on Naruto and instantly got mad. Hey, it's you, boy. Why the fuck didn't you do that earlier? It was so cramped up in your mind with these fools beside me. You all need to lose some weight. Oh shut up, you're full. Can't you see that we're alive? And it's all thanks to Kurama's boyfriend, said Son Goku. He lowered himself down to Naruto's level and spoke, thank you, young whippersnapper. You've done a huge favor for such a great sage as myself. You have my respect. I also approve of you dating my sister. Thanks, wheezed out Naruto. Thank you so much, Naruto-san. Now I get to see Fu-chan again, said a happy Chome. It's good to see you again, Chome-chan, said Kurama with a smile. It's good to see all of you. Yeah. Being alive is the best thing in the world. Now I can sit back in the plains and sleep all day, said Matabi. It's been a while since I've gone without a Jinchuriki. I'm going to the deserts in Suna. Back to sleeping under tons of sand. Ah, I've missed those days, said Shukaku. I'm going to stay in Wave in the ocean. I can protect Wave from the waters. It's the least I can do for Naruto-san, said Isabu. Thank you. And I'm sorry for that fight we had almost 3 years ago, said Naruto. No problems here, said Isabu. I'm going to the jungle in Taki. Got lots of big trees for me to hang around in, said Sun. I'm going with Matabi to the plains, maybe the one right outside of Kumo. Oh, never mind. Those got destroyed, said Kokuo. That's right, said Matabi. Maybe we should just chill in the land of fire then. There's a lot of forest and stuff. Yeah, that sounds good, said Kokuo, agreeing with Matabi. I'm going to stay here in Wave as well. There are swamps for me to live in, and I'll stay moist all of the time thanks to the humidity here in the air, said the slug Biju, Saiken. I'm staying here with Fu-chan, repeated Chome. All of the Biju looked over to the quiet Gyuki, who seemed to be in a deep debate. Gyuki-chan, you alright? Asked Kurama. Yeah, it's just, I think I'm going to go back with B, he said, surprising the Biju present. Why would you go back to being inside a human? Asked Sun in confusion. Even though it is embarrassing to say, I've gotten used to him and his terrible raps. He's the first person that ever befriended me, so I wish to stay with him. Gyuki then gained a dumbfounded expression, plus, that fool's going to get in a lot of trouble without me telling him what to do and not do. He's a fool, but he is my Jinchuriki and I've come to respect him. Are you sure you wish to stay sealed inside a human? I was going to make a rule that stated, no more Jinchuriki. Do you really wish to do this? Asked Naruto. Yes, I'm sure. Also, I thank you for saving us and the world, Naruto-san. I do approve of you marrying my sister. Marriage? Whispered a wide-eyed, blushing Kyubi. She hadn't even thought about that. I mean, yeah, she wanted a mate, but marriage. That's a whole other ball game for her. Ignoring Kurama's madly blushing face, Naruto answered, thank you. That means much coming from you. Well, time to get moving, shouted Shukaku as he turned around. I'll see you bastards later. Ha ha ha. He laughed. He started his slow pace of walking, before stopping. He turned around and asked, how the fuck am I supposed to get there? This place is basically surrounded by water, a big no-no for me. Suddenly, 5 massive black portals, the size of a biju, appeared. Those should take you to your desired location. Thanks, said Shukaku as he made his way to his portal. When you and that bitch Kurama have kids, bring them to the dessert so they can see the best uncle. Kids, shouted Kurama. Ha. You bitch. I'll stay in contact, Shukaku said as he disappeared into his portal. Make sure those kids are treated well, said Matabi as she entered her portal. Please, don't let be as grumpy as big sister Kurama, said Kokuo as he followed suit. Make sure you clean 'em every day in clean water. I know you foxes always like to be dirty, said Saiken as he slowly trudged away into the swamps of Wave. Here I come fu, shouted Chome as she flew off into the populated part of Wave. My brothers and sisters really do appreciate you, Naruto-san, said Gyuki. The old man was right after all. Gyuki started to enter his personal portal, but turned his head before being consumed. And please don't blow my sisters back out when mating. Thanks, he said as he fully entered the portal. A fountain of blood shot out from Kurama's nose as she landed on the grassy hill, unconscious. That's your problem, said Isabu with a laugh. Thanks again, he said as he curled up in his shell and rolled away. Naruto sighed as he deactivated his Rinnegan Sharingan, closing the portals while doing so. He picked up Kurama's body, and her face had a fucked stupid look to it, and started his walk to Wave. Starting a family, said Naruto as he looked at Kurama. That sounds nice. A month later, the shinobi world was, for the first time in history, at peace. There was no more fighting, and all of the hidden villages actually got along. With many more meetings between the Gokage, agreements were made with each village that would secure such peaceful times for as long as possible. The Leaf Village, however, did suffer a lot from Naruto's action. While all of the world got to dance and parade with their newly rebirthed fellow shinobi, they sobbed in despair. Granted, they still had parties, but it wasn't as great as the other hidden villages' parties. More and more people began to regret their actions and how they treated Naruto while growing up in Konoha. Another thing that surprised many people were the reappearance of the Biju. They all thought that Naruto absorbed them all, but he explained that he released them all, only saving a tiny bit of each of the Biju's chakra so he could keep his Rinnegan Sharingan and 6 Paths chakra. Naruto announced to the whole world that the use of Jinchuriki was forbidden, unless the Biju wished to be placed in a person that they choose themselves. He stated that if anyone were to break his law, the person who sealed the Biju into someone would die a terrible death, and their home village would also be destroyed by Naruto personally. Everyone, knowing how powerful Naruto actually is, took heed to his word and left the Biju alone. The only exception to this was Gyuki and Killer Bee. After being reunited with each other when Gyuki suddenly appeared in front of Kumo's front door, the two talked for a while until Gyuki went back into the open seal that was upon Killer Bee's stomach. Gyuki actually smiled from the inside of the seal when he heard Bee's terrible raps, and felt at home and at peace. To repay Wave and her shinobi for all their hard work and major effort in the war, all 5 major villages had to sign long-term agreements that stated they would send more business with Wave and would give anything that Wave needed. The village that was most in debt to Wave was Mist, since May still hasn't paid off those annoying favors that Naruto did for her. Wave Country was now considered the strongest nation in the world. The small island of Nami no Kuni made all of the great 5 nations its bitch. Tayuya was very pleased in Wave's position. What happened in Wave was probably the best thing that came from winning the war. In honor of Naruto, they made a golden statue of him in the middle of town, all of it coming from the gold they found in one of Gato's old hideouts. Naruto smiled at the sight of everyone drunk off their asses during the parties, and really did feel good about saving his people. And now, after a month of peace, we meet with all of the Wave Ninja, Tsunami, Tazuna, and Inari were all facing the Great Naruto Bridge, where Naruto and Kurama were standing. They both had backpacks on and were holding hands as they looked at their people. Do, sniff, do you really have hic, sniff have to leave? Cried out Inari, looking at Naruto and Kurama who were standing at the entrance of the bridge. Yes, I am needed elsewhere, and Wave is finally at the top of the world. It no longer needs me to watch over it, said Naruto, looking down at Inari. Inari shouted out in sadness as he ran up to Naruto and Kurama, a river of tears coming from his eyes. He engulfed the two demons in a massive hug, crying in Kurama's chest. Don't go, he cried out. Kurama sighed and patted Inari's head in comfort. Don't worry, Inari-chan. I told you we'll come visit sometimes. This isn't the last time you will see us, said Kurama. Inari slowly nodded and let go of the couple. Naruto smiled at the scene and looked towards his wave ninja. It's been a long journey, but we did it. We are the strongest nation in the world. A nation that holds a handful of now all S-rank ninjas, said Naruto. Except for this bitch, said Anko with a smirk as she placed her arm on top of Hanabi's head. Hey, I could be considered S-rank if Naruto-sama gives me more of his chakra, she shouted. She held in a scream as Naruto appeared in front of her with his Rinyu Sharingan activated. You plan to go back to Konoha one day, don't you? What? No, I would never. You're lying. I can tell you're lying. I'm not lying. You wish to shame someone in Konoha, don't you? No, it's a boy. Quote, comma, quote. You plan to go back to Konohagakure one day, right? Quote, comma, dot, dot. Just to visit. You can be our representative then. I know you have family in Konoha, so I will allow you to live in both Wave and Konoha, said Naruto. Hanabi jumped on Naruto and engulfed him in her own hug. Thank you, thank you, thank you, she shouted, happy that she got to see her family, friends, and her not-so-secret crush on Konohamaru. After prying Hanabi off him, he returned to his position next to Kurama. Zabuza, I leave you in charge of Wave. You are Wave's first Kunikage. Take care of everyone, said Naruto. I promise you, I'll take care of Wave, said Zabuza, trying his best to hold back the stream of tears threatening to come down his eyes. Haku was beside him openly crying her heart out. You will come back one day, right? She asked. I promise, said Naruto. You better, said Tsunami as she walked up to Naruto and Kurama and hugged them both. I've seen you two grow so much during these past few years, and I'm so happy to see you two get along with each other. You two take care in Makai, you hear me? Said Tsunami as she silently cried. We will, Ka-chan, said Naruto. Thank you for everything, Tsunami-san, said Kurama. Tsunami let go of the two and walked back to her position beside Zabuza and leaned on his shoulder. He wrapped his arm around her, comforting her. If you do anything to my Ka-chan, I'm coming back to kill you. Understood, said Naruto. Yes sir, Zabuza saluted. Good, said Naruto as he turned around with Kurama, facing away from Wave. Then this is goodbye. I'm glad to know every one of you. Thank you for helping me and believing in me as well, said Naruto. He and Kurama started to walk on the bridge, slowly creating distance between them and the Wave Shinobi. You better come visit someday. I'm gonna tell all the pussy stories I can when you do, shouted a crying Zaku who got hit upside his head by a crying kin. I promise to protect Wave with everything I have, Naruto-sama. So long, said Jugo. Come back and we'll be able to chill in the forest like old times, Naruto-sama, said Kidomaru. If you don't come back, I'll send a sharp stick up your asses. A very, very sharp stick, cried out Tayuya as she waved at the retreating couple. No, you can't leave yet, Naruto-kun. You haven't yet realized your love for me, cried Fuka. You're finally at peace, Naruto-kun. I can feel it by how your chakra feels to me. Take care, said Karen. When you come back, we'll go back to that all-you-can-eat buffet that just opened up not too long ago, said Jirobo. Thank you for freeing me from Orochimaru's wrath, Naruto-sama. Take care, said Isaribi. We'll see you soon. I know we will, said Gurren. Thank you for saving a fellow Jinchuriki like me, Naruto-kun. I wish you well, said Fu. Because of you, I've gotten strong and feel more confident in myself. Thank you, Naruto-kun, said Yakumo. Thank you for saving me before I died, Naruto-sama. Wave will prosper because of your legacy, said Pakura. Take care, Naruto-sama. Next time I see ya, I'll show you that I deserve the title of Kunikage, said Anko. See you soon, sonny boy. Thank you for everything you did for Wave and its people, said Tazuna. Tsunami watched as the two started to fade from her eyesight, the two becoming smaller and smaller. She cried out more with a smile on her face, knowing that Naruto was happy for what he's done. Thank you, Sochi-san. I love you, she muttered. Naruto and Kurama were walking the long bridge that seemed to take forever. Kurama was leaning on Naruto's shoulder while looking towards the approaching end of the bridge. You've done good, she said. I'm glad that we've gotten this far, she said. Yeah, it's been a long and hard 16 years, said Naruto. Kurama looked up at Naruto and her eyes widened. Holy shit, we missed your birthday. It was the day we won the war. That was a month ago, she said in surprise. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot about it. So that means I'm 17 now, said Naruto. What do you want for your late birthday gift? Said Kurama with a sultry voice as she rubbed against Naruto. I know what I want and what you'll give me. That can wait until we get to Makai, he said with a smile. The two turned their heads to the side when they heard a large splash in the water. Su-looning. Naruto-sama. Kurama-sama, shouted Suigestu from atop Isabu's head. So long to you too, Suigestu-san, said Kurama with a smile. Oh, by the way, I love the turtle, shouted Suigestu. Samahada wrapped itself around Sugetsu and shrieked at the couple, saying its goodbyes. So long, Sugetsu, said Naruto. Isabu turned his body around and started to swim away at a fast pace. I got a mu fucking TTTUUURRRTTTLLLEE. www, shouted the vanishing Sugetsu, sounding much like B. Kurama and Naruto continued their journey until they finally made it to the end of the bridge. Once they stepped over it, Kurama felt Naruto tighten his hold on her hand. She turned her head up to him to see tears falling down his eyes. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. I know you'll miss them. Yes, I really will, said Naruto as he whipped his tears away. I need to stop by 2 more places before we leave. Nighttime Konoha. Sasuke and Sakura were in bed, sleeping. They were both respected for the efforts for the war, and became well known as 2 of the most powerful shinobi in Konoha. Sasuke woke from his sleep as he heard a light tapping on his window. Sakura also woke from her sleep, hearing the tapping. She instantly got into a taijutsu stance, believing it was her enemy, but Sasuke stopped her. Wait, he said as he looked at what was taping his window. He noticed that it was a red tail, a long red tail. There were only 2 people in the world he knew with tails like that. He grabbed Sakura's hand and they both walked outside their house to see Naruto and Kurama standing in their front lawn. Naruto. Kurama, what are you doing here? He asked. I've come to say goodbye, said Naruto. Where are you going? Asked Sakura. Back to Makai, where I belong, answered Naruto. What about Wave? Asked Sasuke. Zabuza-san is in charge now. Naruto-kun made him into the new Kunikage, said Kurama, answering the young Uchiha's question. So you really are leaving? Said Sakura as she started to sniff. I had a feeling something like this was going to happen. You were always the smart one, pink-haired girl, said Naruto with a smile. He used his tails to wrap around Sasuke and Sakura's waist, pulling them close to him. The tree shared a group hug, the last one Team 7 would have in a long time. You two take care. I thank you for being the first friends I ever had, said Naruto in the hug. They both smiled at their friend, knowing he was sharing his honest opinion. Naruto let the 2 down and went into his pocket to pull out a kwani with the kanji 10 on it. If you ever need me, add chakra into this kunai, said Naruto. But Naruto, we already have one of your kunai, said Sasuke as he and Sakura looked down at the new kanji on it. Wouldn't it just be a wise? Sasuke looked up only to see Naruto and Kurama gone. That sneaky bastard, cried out Sakura as tears ran down her cheeks. Sasuke hugged Sakura as he looked up the full moon. Don't worry, we'll see him soon. I know we will. Azu Namika's mansion. Minato jumped out his sleep when he heard glass shatter from inside his house. Kushina, who was sleeping beside him, jumped out the bed and quickly grabbed her sword, ready to battle in her nightgown. The 2 opened the door to see Mito and Menma in similar positions, in their nightcloths with their signature weapons. It came from downstairs, whispered Minato. They all nodded and silently made their way downstairs. They entered the living room to see one of the windows broken and a rock on the ground. Kushina picked the rock up and saw that there was red markings on the rock. Look up, said Kushina, reading what was on the stone. They all looked up, see Naruto and Kurama sitting on the couch. Holy shit, shouted the family, scared at the sudden appearance. Naruto, what are you and Kurama doing here? Asked Minato. I'm here to tell that I'm leaving to go to Makai. You won't hear or see of me for a long while, said Naruto. I thought that you didn't want anything to do with us. Why else are you here? Asked Kushina. You're right, I don't want anything to do with any of you, but this is the last opportunity I have of making you all feel bad about yourselves, said Naruto as he stood up from the couch, Kurama right behind him. I've become my own man now, and I've become the most powerful being in the planet. After everything you all put me through, I pushed through your expectations of me staying a failure and weak all my life. I am better than what you thought I would be, said Naruto, making the family feel bad again about their past with Naruto. Many people respect me, and many people fear me. You should be the people that fear me, because I don't have any love for any of you. You made a mess of my life, and I did what I had to do to make something out of myself. You called me a monster when I was born, but now I know I'm not. I'm just better than you. People fear what they don't understand, and that's why you all did everything in your power to put me down. You didn't expect what you see in front of you today. Let this be a lesson. Don't lie to your family. Don't make anyone seem like the bad guy in the story, when the bad guy is you yourself. And finally, don't underestimate the power of Naruto no Yoko, said Naruto as his Rinyu Sharingan flashed crimson. Every glass item in the whole house broke instantly when his eyes glowed, scaring the family. Now clean this mess up, he said as he walked out the door. Goodbye. Kurama stood up from the couch and followed Naruto. Before she left out the door, she turned her head back to the family. Fucking pussies, she said as she slammed the door. Midnight Valley of the End. Naruto and Kurama stood on the water in front of the large crashing waterfall. Naruto took in a deep breath before slamming his hands on the water's surface. Summoning, Gates of Makai, he said. The large demonic gates erupted from the water and the chains over it fell to the ground. The gate opened, giving the two a glimpse of Makai. Ready? Asked Kurama. Ready, said Naruto as they started to walk to the gate. Wait, shouted a voice. Naruto turned his head to see a small black blob of darkness with two white eyes and a set of sharp teeth. What are you? Asked Naruto. I am Ka-chan's son. The one she spoke about that helped you escape by putting that sealing tag on that Jonan's back to show you. I am Black Zetsu, said the black blob. You were a part of the Akatsuki, said Kurama, but I was always under mother's orders. Her orders now are to come with you, said Zetsu. I have no place to go now that the war is over, and no purpose at all. Naruto looked at the floating, frowning black blob for a moment before answering, sure. I still owe you for what you did. With a toothy smile, Zetsu jumped up from the water surface and into Naruto's sleeve. Thanks a lot, nephew, said Zetsu as he retreated into his sleeve, taking a nap. Nephew? Asked Kurama. Don't ask, said Naruto as he slammed his foot down. Summoning. Ribi, in his regular form, appeared in a cloud of smoke and looked at Naruto. Time to go? Asked the leech. Yes, let's go, said Naruto. The four beings walked and slithered into the gates. The gates closed up behind the group, and vanished from the world, not to be seen again in a very long time. Makai. After dropping Kurama, Ribi, and Black Zetsu at the castle, Naruto headed into the forest with one destination in mind. He opened the door without knocking, knowing good and well that the person he came to see should be asleep. Oh yes, Sasha, you get it, girl, let's see what else you can do. Sound of page flipping. Oh my god, that bitch can do a split on the dick. You go, girl, shouted a familiar mole. His hand was underneath the table while he was reading another porn magazine. Mr. Resetti? Asked Naruto as he watched the scene with amusement. The mole looked up from his magazine to see Naruto and instantly got on the defensive. It's not what it looks like. I was TIGHTING one of the screws from under the table. I don't know how this book got here. Curse you, you demon, shouted the mole as he threw the magazine across the room. You've got to knock next time, Naruto. Good to see you too, said Naruto as he sat down on the opposite side of the table. So if you've come back, then that means you've done it, said Resetti. Yes, I've ended the war in my own way, also gaining some new powers along the way, said Naruto, activating his Rinnegan Sharingan. Ooh, looks strong but also freaky, joked Mr. Resetti. You come here for anything else? I've come to tell you that I'm here to stay in Makai and was wondering if you would like to stay with me in the castle, said Naruto. Really? Really? Will there be cabbages? There will be a garden of cabbages right next to my orange trees I plan to grow. Will there be bitches? Plenty for you. Let me pack my shit, shouted the mole as he ran to the room. Naruto just smiled as he exited the small house, still hearing the crashes that were occurring from Resetti's packing. Naruto made his way back to the castle and into the master bedroom he shared with Kurama. When he opened the door he saw Kurama at the end of the bed, naked, in a very sex position. Ready for that late birthday present? She asked seductively. Naruto just looked at Kurama for a while, taking in the sight of her. Kurama-chan, said Naruto. Yes, she asked. I love you. Kurama's eyes widened at Naruto, but then they closed while a small smile formed on her face. I love you too, Naruto-kun. Naruto turned to the corner of the room to see Wicked sitting at the desk chair with a bag of popcorn in his hands. Wicked turned Naruto and gave him one of his signature smirks. You better go hit that ass, said Wicked. Naruto just smirked back at Wicked with his own grin. He looked back at Kurama as the smirk got wider and wider. He felt good. This was the feeling he always wanted. He finished what he started. He made it to the top, and no longer has any regrets. Naruto, for the first time of his life, was truly happy. Naruto focused back on Kurama and he walked towards her. I'm about to destroy that ass. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.